Yes, boys, welcome back to another stream, man. We've got a mad panel show for you tonight, mate. Everyone's come out for the show, mate. So smash these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. And make sure you guys are smashing the likes up massively, man. Smash the likes. Keep smashing the likes. Smash the likes again. It's the chance, lads, to win a trophy tomorrow. Now, I know we probably didn't think that like 3 months ago that we'd win a trophy, man. But we have an opportunity to win a trophy. The FA Cup, City versus Palace. We're going to get into it. Loads of stuff to discuss in terms of the defence. What defence do we do? Who plays in midfield? Does Haaland play? Does Mamouche play? Does Edison play? Does Ortega play? So loads of stuff to talk about, man. But yeah, shout out the panel. Listen, I'm going to start off with Steve. Just sort of like tell us what you're thinking about tomorrow, bro. Like how you're feeling ahead of the game. And then obviously, as usual, lads, just get involved in it. Steve, what you saying, man? How you feeling tomorrow?
Yes, man. Big up everyone. Look at Jacob there in a beer garden or somewhere. Look at him enjoying the place. Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to everyone on the panel and that big panel. God. Yeah, tomorrow I'm very nervous, bro, because I feel like in many ways our whole season depends on this. You see, like this top four and that is excellent. Champions League football next season is excellent, and it's what City are about. You know, we've done it 13 years on the trot, whatever it is. But we're about silverware, innit? And we've got the opportunity to do so in this final now. And if we don't go ahead and do it and we don't go and finish the job, then we look like choke artists. Do you know what I mean? So in that aspect, it's very important, bro. Like for our players individually, we got players like Haaland. We want to keep hold of these players, yeah? Then we need to win silverware, innit? And we can't be choking and we can't be seen as moving towards that side like Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm afraid we're going to lose some of these players, bro, if we continue on this path. So we need to maintain the standards. That's a key word, standards. Big up Haaland, big up Pep, big up Bernardo Silva for mentioning that word. Because I mention that word a lot. Because I'm about my standards, innit? Because, that's what the club's shown, man. The club's showing high standards and I want to maintain them. So that's what tomorrow's about, man. It's about maintaining standards, bro, and getting some silverware, innit? And especially as well, if we want to get some of these transfers as well coming in, we want to refresh the squad. Then let's keep that silverware consistent.
And KDB's sort of like final chance at a silverware, man. Like, I need this guy to leave with a trophy, mate. I can't have him leaving with nothing, mate. That's just poor, innit? You know what I mean? Like the players need to do it.
It's poor, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, worst case scenario, you can't look back at his career and say he was a failure. Do you know what I'm saying? This ain't no like Harry Kane at Spurs thing. You know what I'm saying, bro? He's come here and he's won the lot. So at the end of the day, let's remember that, and let's remember the king for who he really is.
Yeah, I'm nervous, me boys, man. I can't even lie. Like, I think Palace are a good side. Obviously, we drew 2-2 earlier in the season. Then we could have been 3-0 down after 25 minutes in the home game, but for a offside from Eze when he should never have really been offside. It's poor from him. They're a good side, bit of a bogey team, and they've never won a trophy in their history, apparently. I don't know this, but they've never, ever won a trophy in their whole history as a football club. So they're going to be right at it. But we just got to be at the races, man. If we turn up and play our best football, we win. Like, that's as simple as that. The question is, how are we going to do that, coming off a pretty poor performance at the weekend against Southampton, lads?
Yeah.
Like,
we can't start like we did in the Palace game, in the home game a few weeks ago. I think if we start like that and then find ourselves in a position where we are 2 goals down, I think it'll be a lot harder to come back from, even though we did manage to turn it round at the Etihad. Palace are a scary team this time of year, aren't they, man? They always seem to come good at the end of the season and fucking step it up. They were the same last year and kind of tricked everyone into thinking that they'd be European contenders with the form at the end of last season. So yeah,
very physical team, bro.
Yeah, nervous but excited, man, because I think we are gonna do it. These next 2 weeks now are gonna pretty much define the next 5 to 10 years of this football club. I feel these next two weeks are that important. When you talk about winning and bringing in a trophy to attract players, obviously securing Champions League football, which is looking at a little bit iffy at the moment after the Southampton game. I think we're not going to get half the players that we want this summer if we don't box these 2 things off now before the end of the season. So it's absolutely huge that these next 2 weeks go right, and all the boys need to be up for it, man, as well.
Jacob,
yeah.
What's more important? The FA Cup all Tuesday night. Because I'll tell you something now. If we don't get a result, win on Tuesday night. It puts in jeopardy all our targets, every single one of them.
Yeah, it takes it out of our hands, really, doesn't it, going into that final week? But
yep.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think you
Exactly,
can turn
should-
down a trophy though,
Yeah.
can you? Yeah, I think it's got to be both. You've got to go into both
No, you
expecting
got to
to
pick
win
one.
both
Pick
games.
one.
But you've got a game. You've got to get. If we've got a game Saturday, right, and we've got a game Tuesday, right.
Why have I got to pick, man?
Why?
Because that's what these discussions are about. Pick one.
Right.
No,
I'm taking.
If
Oh,
we play
God,
extra
it's hard.
time on if we play extra time on Saturday, that's a fucking nightmare. Because we've got a
We
game.
got a bit of depth on us now, though, Alan. We got a squad there, bro. We got some decent players on the bench now.
Everyone's fit. Most people are fit now as well.
That Europa League theme tune slaps though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That is a banger. That
You know
is
it
a
is.
banger.
You don't have to memorize lyrics. It's just a.
It is better than
You know where I'm coming. You know where I'm coming from, don't you?
Yeah, I personally would rather
take.
take the trophy. If I had to pick, I'd personally take the trophy for Kev.
I'm with you.
And
I'll
take the
trophy,
Alpha.
man. I'm
Yeah,
with that,
and
bro.
take-
I'll take the
And
trophy.
take the Europa for a season. Still have a few decent fucking European trips.
We
But
won't get the targets. We won't get it. We're not going to get.
Yeah, we will. We'll be all right.
No, the only guy we won't get, Al, is Wirtz. That's it. Everyone else will still. Come.
everyone in here was saying a few weeks ago that we was getting Wirtz whether we have Champions League football or not. Now that
No,
I stand by that.
absolutely stinks now.
chance.
Yeah,
No.
that absolutely stinks now. There's no way he comes to us if we don't
I
get
agree.
Champions League
He's not
football.
coming. He's not coming. But everyone else, you something Tijani Reinders is not coming. at
Yeah,
Manchester City.
Reinders doesn't give a shit whether it's Champions
Grinders
League or
probably
Europa
will,
League.
yeah, because AC Milan are fucking trash.
Morgan
Can be
Gibbs
asshole.
White
Can be
doesn't
asshole,
care.
is-
Yeah, but
Yeah, give
a
White don't
project,
care.
a project's bigger than one season.
Exactly.
Like-
facts.
So I see Wirtz still coming even if we don't get Champions League football. So it's only
If anything,
it's a project.
If anything, I think that the odds of a player looking at City and going, oh, they won the FA Cup, sick, let's sign for them. Like that's just not going to happen, is it? Like no one's going to like.
Correct.
People don't care if we
Correct.
win a domestic cup.
Correct.
And then go like, oh, what a sign for them. It's Champions League is the thing, but ultimately, I think
You're right.
with the exception of Wirtz, and I think Wirtz, I'm convinced that all this shite is just him and his dad just trying to get Bayern to just stump up the cash to do it this summer. I think Wirtz is the only one that you could maybe argue hinges on Champions League football, but I personally think that he's gone to Bayern no matter what, so I don't even think that's really relevant. Everyone else that we're linked with, I don't see us not getting Champions League football as like the big like that's going to stop all of these signings from happening. But yeah, I mean, but regardless, I would pick the trophy because you know I want Kev to go away with a trophy. I don't want him to
Me
go
too.
empty-handed.
Me
Yeah.
too.
At the end of the day, for me though, yeah, boys, I'm not worried about the Champions League one bit. For the simple reason that I don't trust these teams around us to win all their games. To the last two games,
I
I don't
don't
trust
either.
them.
They look
I think
shit.
they're all shitbags. I think they're shit.
Well, if
You know,
if
so-
just on that, if the score between Chelsea and United remains the same,
What
we
is
just
it, mate?
need
I
to
don't
win.
even know.
It's 0-0 currently.
No.
We're fifth,
obviously,
we are now fifth.
yeah. So that means that with that being the case, obviously Villa, yeah, they're winning, so we're fifth. But if this Chelsea score stays the same, a win for us on Tuesday means that we're qualified no matter
We're done.
what.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
Yeah.
I don't trust Chelsea, bro. I don't trust Chelsea. I don't trust all the teams around there, bro. I don't really.
Forest
Chelsea
are
and
done.
Forest.
Forest
Chelsea
are
and
done.
Forest are the two. Yeah, and
It's
Chelsea
only
and Forest
Villa,
play
really.
they Chelsea and Forest play each other on the final day of the season as well, so that kind of takes
One of them
both
are dropping points
out.
there, yeah.
One of them are out, and then that means that it comes down to us doing our job really, because Villa are going to probably do theirs. So we just got to make sure that we win at least one of these last two games.
And we don't really want to be going into that Fulham away game needing
Nah.
a win either, do it? I'd rather get the job
Nah.
done on Tuesday, man, at home. And
That
get
Fulham
it over and
game,
done
man.
with.
I want
Yeah.
Echeverry starting the game, mate. Like I want the game dead. I want the game dead. Nothing's on the game at all, and I play Echeverry, mate, in the attacking midfield role from the start.
Now there's an extra 5 mil. There's an extra 5 mil in it for the club if we finish fourth instead of fifth. We got to do it.
Yeah, it's like we need all the money we can get. Now that's crazy, man. Yeah, listen, it's a big one tomorrow. Listen, let's go through some of the team because I think there's quite a lot of decisions actually to make. Let's start off with the goalkeeper and work our way forward. I'm saying our Edison in net, lads. Yeah, I don't want to fuck about. Yeah,
I agree.
With this is the last chance of silverware this season. It's the chance to save our season in terms of actually getting something out of it. Yeah, Ortega didn't cover himself in glory last year in the FA Cup final against United. For me, I'm saying get Edison in there. what he's always saying.
I agree.
I
Yes, it's probably Ederson's last chance of a trophy at City as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't take that away from him, can you? All the trophies that he's won, and he's been a mainstay in those teams that have won trebles and shit in the past. So he deserves a chance to get on the pitch and win the trophy.
Well, we know what Pep's like. He'll play.
He'll play the backup.
And
he should. I think he should. I think he should. Ortega's got us to the.
Not Ederson's last game to win a trophy though, man. After the years he spent here.
Well then don't leave.
Well,
don't
I'll
leave.
tell you what.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't go to Saudi Arabia. Like, it's you know what I mean? Like, he's getting his reward if he leaves. He's not like Kev, where he's come to the end of his 10 years at City. Ederson's choosing to walk out the door. I'm not giving him a sentimental FA Cup final start for that.
You can't be emotional towards Ortega for playing 3 or 4 FA Cup games this year.
It's not emotional. That's just it's not emotional. Like, backup.
No, I mean for Pep.
I
mean for Pep. Do you know what I mean? For him to be emotional over that, but not play Ederson for 7 years of fucking service.
No, but it's different because backup keepers, like these domestic cups are their games. That's what they're sort of contracted to play, effectively contracted to play. Now, obviously, this season's been a bit different because Ederson's been in and out with the team a little bit. And don't get me wrong, if I was personally picking which one I would want to see start, I would pick Ederson all day long.
Yeah.
But
I think you have to remember, Joey, they're not actually contracted to play them games, are they? We can play with
they're not. They're not literally contracted to play them. But I think it's a.
Do you remember the 18-19 season? We had Muric play the entire run to the final, and I think Ederson started the last 2 games.
Yeah, but Muric was a kid though, wasn't it? Like it's not really the same.
He played very well. He was.
Come on, Joe, you're waffling now, pal.
Yeah. No,
I think it's just if you play the backup keeper all the way through, and they play. We've seen it with Pep. Like Ortega started multiple finals. Like it's not.
I think in previous seasons as well, we've been in a position where we've been going for multiple trophies as well. Because this is our one and only chance at a trophy this season, you've got to play the best team for me, man, regardless of feelings.
Maybe we had a treble on the line a couple of years ago, and Ortega still started against United.
No, that's what I mean, because we've got other trophies on the line, then, aren't you? So you can afford to kind of play people in different games. But because this is the one and only chance at a trophy this year,
it's our last chance.
Ederson's the better choice as the keeper.
No, but I mean it in the other way, where like no FA Cup final will be more important than that treble FA Cup final, and he still played Ortega. Like,
no, I get that. I get what you're saying, Joe. But the point is, we had 2 other trophies that we could win. So even if we fucked it in that FA Cup, we were still probably going to win a trophy. This is it. This is literally it. So for me,
be all and end all.
The thing is, LB, I don't particularly mind Ortega, you know.
By that point, we'd already secured the Premier League because it was Premier League, then FA Cup, and then a few days later it was the Champions League final. So
I think Ortega's a decent keeper, though, man. At the end of the day,
it's fine.
If Ortega plays, I ain't tripping, bro, because I do rate Ortega. I think he could be a number 1 in the probably 90% of the teams in the Premier League. I stand by that.
Spot on.
So
he was actually probably in better form back then than Ortega. I don't really feel that comfortable him coming in nowadays compared to back then. When you think about Ortega back then, when he used to come in for Ederson, it used to bring me like confidence knowing that he was such a strong shot stopper. But when I've seen him this year and the back end of last year, he's not that guy anymore for me. So I
still rate him, bro. I can't lie, man.
He's not bad, but I don't feel as comfortable as I did back then. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, I prefer Ederson. I think Ederson's the best keeper we've ever had. And I want Ederson to sign a 3-year contract. That's what I want. But you know, he's obviously not going to do that, innit? So you know, whoever he starts in net tomorrow, I don't really mind. I ain't going to be worried. For
tomorrow, man, fuck sentiment. Edison's got to play. I don't give a shit about sentiment, and if Ortega don't like it, he can fuck off as well. Simple as that.
I hate that, Poopy, bro.
Yeah, we just got to go straight out and just get the trophy in the bag.
Play the best team, man.
Best team. Move on to Tuesday night business.
That's my concern. That's my concern. I'm sick of Pep playing to control the opponents. Go out swinging. Play your best 11. I don't care about the matchups. I don't care trying to play to Palace's strengths. Play to our fucking strengths. If we play to our strengths, we still lose. I can respect it.
If he wants to control the game elsewhere, then surely you're going to play your keeper that controls the game as well, aren't you? You can trust on the ball.
I'll have no respect for it. But if you play to just go out, score a bunch of goals, and we end up losing, fine. You tried to win the game.
I think if in seasons gone by you've got to keep Ortega happy just to make sure he stays at the club, then fine. But I wouldn't be asked if he was to leave. To be honest with you, he's a
I
great keeper.
expect him to leave. To be honest,
Yeah,
with you,
it's
bro.
not like
that's also a fact.
It's not like we've got
If
to play.
he's on his way out as well.
Please stay. Nah, fucking if you don't play, he kicks my fuss about it. They can swing it, and we'll get someone else.
Yeah, if he's making noises about being on the way out as well, which he probably is, to be fair, because it's been a while now, and he was meant to be going last year, wasn't he? And then we kind of tied him down to another year. Then I can understand why Pep would just go, well, if I'm going to pick one of the two keepers who's going to leave anyway, then I'm picking the best one rather than the other one. But then also I can just very much see the world where Pep just goes with the guy who's the backup keeper because that's what he typically does in these competitions.
Tell you what, I've waited a long time to see Jacob have a meltdown because I've been missing his meltdowns. His meltdowns are legendary.
Luckily, I wasn't on after Southampton, so I've not had one. I've not had one for a while, to be fair, Alan.
Wait till we come to every week. What are you talking about?
Wait till we come to selecting the defence and he has to put Ruben Diaz in there, then you'll see a meltdown.
There's a time.
Wait till you see Joel's face when I start Doku, man, in my starting 11.
Mate.
I've still got his pictures there on the wall, man. Big up Doku, man.
Well, here's one for you, Jacob. So, Rico Lewis, typically has quite a good G&A against Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get out of here, Bevo, mate. What are you talking about?
do you play him?
He had a good semi-final as well, to be fair, didn't he? But no, I won't play him. He's no way in our strongest 11.
Are we talking about G&A and Rico Lewis here? What are we doing?
I'm just going off players that Jacob hates and just mentioning them.
Yeah.
Right.
I give him props after the semi-final, man. He played really well, but that's the only game I've seen really this year.
Let's do the defence then, right? Because for me, I want him to play Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol, and Nico O'Reilly. That's my back four. I have a problem though. I feel like he's going to stick a Kanji in there, and I don't think that's a good idea.
No way, man.
I back you up on that, mate. Purely because we got exposed badly when O'Reilly was at left back in that first half last time, and I just think he puts Guardiola out there, and that goes away.
If we're going to play a Kanji, I'd rather do it for Nunes and play him right back. If you're going to do it.
I would as well. I would as well.
I'd rather keep O'Reilly in, man. He's been one of our best players the last few months.
The way Nunes, to be honest with you, I think Nunes
the last game in the right side, they exposed us 3 times from there, and they should have scored 3 goals in the first half. And then Pep changed it around, but I just think for the damage that they did, if there's one thing that's going to stick in Pep's mind, they'll be fucking sat up all night worried about it. It's probably that. And I'll just stop that. All day and have a Kanji to
I'll tell you something. Nunes can get promoted. He can drive a tube around London while the game's going on. That'll do for me.
Nah, man.
Jesus, please.
You're hating, man.
This guy's got a clear agenda, bro.
People who have agendas, man, it's a disgrace. Disgrace.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
I've got an agenda on no one, you know.
Look at yourself in the mirror, Jay. Come on.
There's not a single player I've got an agenda on.
You knew what was coming out of my mouth. You knew what was going on. I don't rate him. I think he's crap.
How can you not rate him, bro?
He's been decent recently.
He's not a fullback. He's not a
fullback. No, he's not a fullback. But no, Nico O'Reilly. Would you play Nico O'Reilly at left back?
Who else are you going to play at right back, Alan? Who else are you going to play at right back?
Answer the question.
Akanji.
No, would you play Nico O'Reilly at left back?
Yeah.
Well, he's not a fullback, so why are you playing him at fullback, but you won't play Nunes at fullback?
Nunes is shit.
He's been all right recently, man.
He's clearly not shit, bro.
And you know what? I tell you what, we missed him against Southampton as well. Because there was
I've been watching the game in the Imperial, and I'll tell you something. If he goes diving in and he goes past him and they score, Steve,
you know what? You know what it is with Nunes, yeah? He doesn't even get skinned, you know. He doesn't get skinned. He's physical, he's fast.
He does all the bad shit himself. He does all the bad shit to himself. If he hadn't made those mistakes,
you know what it is with Nunes? He's mental, man. He's a confident player. Sometimes the crowd gets on his back. Like Wolves. You know what I mean? We play against Wolves, yeah.
After the United game at home, though, I was very much in the Alan camp of let's just fuck this guy off. I never want to see this guy again.
Has he not redeemed himself since then? I think he's redeemed himself.
He's been. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm still starting him because I think he's like you say he's actually genuinely been good in this last month or two.
Yeah, been good.
But I think
their threat comes from the wings as well, out wide with pace, man. And who better to be able to track back than
you need an athlete out there, don't you? Yeah. And that's why I think maybe the idea of Akanji starting and Gvardiol being left back kind of comes into it a little bit as well because
Akanji, man, fucking
Gvardiol.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
well, mate, you got
quite
thrown.
like Akanji at right back, but he's just not going to do it.
The guy trained for like 3 days and got like subbed in for a game that was pretty important as well. Like the guy's like Pep loves him. Like he will never not start him if he's fit.
He does trust him, bro. Yeah.
I just think the number one way to ask for trouble in the final is to change your back line. Do not change the back line. You can change whatever else you want. Do not change the back four.
So in that case, then you'd have the same one that started against Southampton.
Well, you know what
that one stunk. We missed Nunes against Southampton, man, because that right wing was
a clean sheet, though.
Yeah,
a clean sheet.
Clean sheet, yes.
It's not the back line's fault that we didn't score, really, is it?
Yeah, no, and that's why when we were talking about centre back partnerships, I threw win percentage out the window because win percentage is a stupid stat. I did like goals allowed for 90.
Yeah.
Well, funny you say that though, Steve, because I actually think you say it wasn't the defence's fault that we didn't score, but actually, as Jay said, I agree. I said it on the watch along after 10 minutes. We massively missed Nunes' threat down the right hand side.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Yeah, it was so slow down that right side.
We needed him because we didn't have an overlapping foot. He played Rico Lewis to cross balls, and that guy can't cross. You needed Nunes on there.
No,
so all right.
So
what people saying then? So I'm saying Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol, O'Reilly.
Agree.
Yeah. Send it.
Agreed.
Who's not on?
No, I'm saying Akanji over O'Reilly. And
left back.
Yeah.
Gvardiol left back.
Do you know what? If he drops O'Reilly tomorrow but keeps Ortega in, that's the biggest fucking joke I've ever heard in my life.
Because that O'Reilly offers you a lot, more going forward.
He does, but I think.
And how can you play Ortega but not O'Reilly based off sentiment?
O'Reilly's
he's the one who's got us here. He's the one who's got us here. Do you know what I mean? So you can't play Ortega and then drop O'Reilly.
Yeah, but I think you know what Pep's like. Pep is he gets proper held up on stuff like the way we played against United because he played once as decent once. Amarin got in his head and he put a stinking lineup out just to make sure it couldn't happen again. So I feel like that home game against Palace will make his mind up defensively and say, "There's no way we're getting exposed at left back even once, let alone 3 times." And the only way to stop that is by putting your most experienced left back in there who's actually done all right.
I wouldn't.
It's just sad for O'Reilly. It's one of the things, isn't it?
I think it's sad, but it's not. I think Nunes is the key, man. I think Nunes has got to play that right back spot, man. I'll be real with you. Listen. If he plays Diaz, Akanji, Gvardiol, it's not the worst thing in the world, yeah. But I just feel like equal.
I had tons of respect for you until you're just done your big mouth.
You've got a clear agenda, Alan, mate.
Alan's got an LB agenda.
I know he's got an LB agenda. That's crazy. No, you actually do have a massive Nunes agenda, though.
Big time.
Big time. All right, then. Let's move into. In fact,
do the midfield.
Yeah, let's do it. But guys, smash these likes up, man. Big got LB says, ain't going to get Champions League, are we? Saints result of disgrace. Well, apparently, Joe was saying if this ends in a draw and there's 10 minutes into the second half, we only need one win.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we're hanging on. And by the way, United have had pure chances, man. They just had another chance then. Mason Mount put it wide. But he should have scored that as well. So, yeah, we're doing all right at the moment. Chill. Dr. Footy says, Zebra Batty underrated. Don't knock it till you try it.
I'm out hunting for some now, man. That's why I've come to the
Whereabouts are you?
Jay, that was quality, bro.
Over Safari Park is where he is.
I'm out with my binoculars at the Safari Park.
No, that's crazy, man. Big up to Pi says our goalkeeper won't matter. Pep can't be choosing Bernardo, Gundogan to be in that midfield. We need at least 2 young fit players with legs. We'll come on to the midfield in a sec, bro. And shout out to Radu as well. Says you don't bench Edison in his potential last final. I agree with you, bro. Yeah. Right, let's Professor Edit there touched on it with super chat. Let's move into midfield then.
There's one name I want, LB. This is brother. That's the name I was gonna come out with. That's the one guy I want to see him in, bro.
Who's that?
Nico.
Who's that?
Isn't it? Nico.
Nah, he's not playing. No way.
Nah,
he ain't playing.
I want him in my team every time.
It'll be Cover, Bernardo, KDB. I think it'll be.
Full sending on Cap C.
It will be Kovacic, Gundogan, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Not Bernardo. Not Bernardo.
He might play right wing, mate, but he ain't playing in the middle.
Oh, he better not play right wing.
KDB is a shoe-in to start, isn't he? I think.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
can I make the argument that he doesn't?
KDB.
Because I think Tuesday at home, last game at the Etihad, Champions League football on the line. Like Kev's got to start that no-brainer. I don't know if you put him. I don't know if you start him on Saturday as well as Tuesday. I don't know if you do both.
Who's creating?
He can't play both. He can't play both.
I think he does play both. I think he begs Pep to play both as well. He's not going to want to get dropped for either of those games.
If we don't play Kevin De Bruyne, who's going to create in the team?
No one is.
Phil Foden, man.
Or something. Put Savio out on the right wing.
Why can't he play both games as well, man? The guy's a professional footballer. But people keep saying
the same reason why we're not giving him a new contract. Yeah, the guy's fucking 34 and he's cooked.
Yeah, but
like
he's proved that he can do it the last few weeks. He's going to give everything he's got, man, for these last 3 games. Are you going to try and tell Kevin De Bruyne he's dropped for the cup final or his last ever home game at the Etihad? Like he's going to
week off as well, right?
Yeah, he's going to play both. He's going to play both, and he can play both.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Tuesday's far more important than fucking Saturday.
Oh, come on, man. They're both important.
No, it's not. It's the next game.
They're both important, and he will want to play both the games, and I think he'll demand to play both the games as well, and he should play. So I want to see him starting Saturday and Tuesday.
I absolutely also agreed that he should and would, but that was just my sort of devil's advocate as to why he might. I think
you're right, though, Joe.
Totally surprised to see him not start.
If anyone's going to miss out in midfield, it's most likely to be him.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to see him dropping Bernardo. To be fair, so we might see. Yeah, we might see him.
I think it's most likely Foden. To be honest with you, mate.
Well, yeah, but
I don't even think Foden's got no chance of starting anyway. I don't think Foden's done.
What about this, right? What about this? I know Haaland's back. What if he comes back out and he plays De Bruyne through the middle again, the false 9, like he has been doing, and then Bernardo will obviously be in the middle, won't he? So then it'll be Bernardo, Gundogan, Kovacic, KDB in the false 9, and then you're going to have Marmoush and whoever either side. That's if he brings Haaland straight back out.
We got such a dead midfield, you know. I can't lie, man.
This is why Nico G should be playing.
But do you think Haaland defo starts tomorrow?
Yeah,
no.
I would personally start him
because I'm iffy about that, mate. Especially after the weekend, he's fucking terrible last week.
Bro, let me tell you something, Jay. I seen your tweets and that. I ain't got nothing against Haaland after that weekend, you know, bro. Because I think for me, he does his job. For me, yeah.
But we turn into a worse team. We turn into Cross-Chester City, don't we?
That's not Haaland's fault, bro.
That's because of the football they were playing.
His job, is to stay last man. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, when you're playing Haaland in a team that can't create, you're technically losing a man.
Exactly. So that's the point. Is there any point in being there?
We didn't just not create though necessarily. Like we had, Docky was cutting balls back. We had chances in it. It just wasn't that easy.
Haaland's got to make better runs in that box, man. I'm sick of him just hanging out on the back post, having a fucking cup of tea every week.
I don't know what runs could he have made when Southampton had 10 of their players.
You can't make runs when you've got 8 people.
He does the same thing every time. He just hangs at the back post every time.
Do you not think that's because Pep's telling them to hit it to the back post and making Haaland do that? Like he's not going, guys, the back post for the 15th time this game. That's going to work.
LB, what's up? What are you shaking your head for?
Penalty Chelsea. Penalty Chelsea. Nana's just come out and come.
Sorry. Go on, Joe. Sorry.
We'll miss it.
I think if the team are constantly hitting back post crosses for Haaland to sort of get on the end, and clearly his job was to then head it back inwards for someone to get on the end of it.
Oi, he fucking dived me! Oi, that's a dive, bro!
Is this a lang?
Oi, bro, that's a dive!
Is it going to VAR?
Oh, he fucking dived that! You know that young kid?
Yeah, surely it's going to get overturned then.
Bro, that's a dive, man!
They'll overturn it.
Rah!
Yeah, it's a VAR checking process.
Apparently.
Anyway, but yeah, if the team are repeatedly doing that for like what was effectively it was the whole game, like they were doing it. It was mad. That's not because Haaland is purposely choosing to make a run to the back because he thinks it's the best way to score. Pep has clearly told them Southampton must have some kind of weakness at this back post with like cutbacks across goal. Let's just try and exploit that or something. I don't know
because he does it all the time, Joe. I think that's his move all the time, constantly. I think he always goes to the back post.
Haaland can do what he wants, mate. We need to facilitate him.
I need more from him. I need more from him, man. I genuinely do.
If you're not playing Haaland in your biggest game of the season, when are you playing him? What kind of a message does that send to him? We just give
Well,
you.
yeah. Well, he's fresh. He's fresh back from injury, isn't he?
We just give
Well,
you.
yeah. Well, he's fresh back from injury, isn't he?
In your contract, we're not playing in the
dunno.
cup final.
Play
What we doing?
Marmoush off the left, and you know what I'd do? Look, I'd genuinely stick Doku on the right hand side, me.
That's the thing as well, Jay. Yeah, I think Haaland missed Marmoush in it.
No pen.
You know what I'm saying? I think when he plays in Marmoush as well, he brings him a lot
Cheating
more, bro.
Yeah. Well, Marmoush should have played as well. Yeah, I do.
That's the
get
thing,
that.
bro. I think that Haaland and Marmoush combination, bro. That's the winning
Like
combination.
you can't play fucking Haaland with McAtee, mate, just whacking crosses out of play every fucking time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see him.
Yeah, and the Haaland thing, though, mate, you said, I mean, if Southampton literally had a line of 8 people across the box, you put Prime Didier Drogba in there, mate, and no one's getting on any of them crosses either. It's just tough shit. You just got to deal with it.
But he used to, though, Paul. He used to.
Not often.
I think he still can, Jay. I just think
you can,
it's
but
just one of them games,
you're not going to get 15 clear-cut headers in the game when it's like that. You're just not. You're just not.
I just know what the guy's capable of, man. So it's frustrating when I see him like.
It's
just nowhere near the game.
Fucking disgraceful.
Big up that comment, man. Big up that comment, man.
I think as well, another thing is I don't want to do this. I don't want this to become another Southampton review, but I think the problem was that we pretty much rotated out that entire front three and put in McAtee and Foden.
Yeah, it was poor. So poor.
It wasn't just our strongest
Joe?
team. And nah, mate, fuck that guy. It wasn't just a case of. It wasn't just a case of our best team, but Haaland was in there and we were shit. It was like it was a proper it was a proper football manager. You rotate your entire team for the bottom of the table. You don't win kind of game.
Doku, man? Why'd you have to say that?
Doku was the best player against Southampton as well.
Oh mate, he just wasn't, was it? I'm sick of it. It's so boring.
Right, boys, I've got a bounce anyway.
Jay, big up, man.
Zebra's coming. Go on, Jay.
LB, I'll see you in the morning, lad. Be up nice and bright and early, yeah? We'll bang at it tomorrow.
Jay got off now, yeah, because he didn't want to get into an argument about Doku, innit?
Right, have a good night, boys. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
See you later, bro. See you later.
In a bit, Jay.
Don't let the Zebras fight.
Found a zebra, innit?
Fuck off, Alan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So what would your front threes then be? Because I think Marmoush, Haaland have to start, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah.
And then it's just a case of who do we stick out on that right hand side?
Savio. I'm not
think
saying it's
Savio.
fun, yeah. For me, I'm playing Marmoush because for me, if I'm needing output right now, here and now, final, I'm starting Marmoush, and I'm going Savio. Not necessarily for the output, but because of what he offers in terms of his pace, and I think he's better on the right than Doku is. So I'll go Savio, Haaland, Marmoush.
Yeah,
I don't like
We need
Marmoush.
to go either way. We need to make sure that they know we're here for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and by doing that, we're direct, and you've got Marmoush who will shoot you from anywhere. Haaland, if you give him half a chance, he's going to score, and then Savinho is just going to absolutely just take the piss out of their left back.
I think as well with that front three is that you've got in Marmoush and Savio 2 people who are going to come inside and go on like Marmoush is going to go on his right, Savio's going to go on his left, and then you've got O'Reilly and Núñez who will overlap and sort of go to the byline. I think that's much more, and I think if you have Doku on that same wing as Núñez, they're both going to kind of try and do... Not Núñez, sorry, on the same wing as O'Reilly. They're both going to try and sort of attack the same space. Although obviously, to be fair, O'Reilly goes into the box quite a lot, doesn't he, really? So he can probably do whatever he wants, O'Reilly.
Have we had a Savio start right wing with Núñez at right back?
Foden needs to start.
Surely. I think we have in the Champions League, bro.
Yeah, we must have done it. The amount of fucking combinations we've had this season.
Yeah.
I don't like Marmoush on the left. I prefer Marmoush. I prefer Marmoush central because when you saw it against, I think it was.
I hear that, Bevel.
Newcastle. What you were seeing Marmoush in kind of like the 10 role, dropping in deep. But when he was dropping in deep, he was bringing a centre back with him, which was then creating space behind for Haaland. So when you're playing him off the left, you're not dragging that centre back away from him. So Haaland's always got 2 centre backs on him at all times.
I think he inverts doesn't he, Bevo? He goes in field from the left, so he does like
he
what
does,
Foden
but then
did,
you've got nothing down
when
the left. You've got no creativity down the left.
That's why you've got to play Nico O'Reilly, in my opinion, because you need someone to be able to get down that wing and be able to whip in across. And Gvardiol doesn't do that. Gvardiol comes infield. Yeah, it's very rare you see Gvardiol getting bombing down the side of the box, whipping in crosses. Whereas O'Reilly's done that on a number of occasions, as we've seen recently, and that guy's crosses are decent. So for me, I think you've got to play. I think you've got to play O'Reilly tomorrow at left back if you're going to play Marmoush off the left, so you have a proper left wing threat. Otherwise, you're sticking Gvardiol out there for being a better defender, but he's up the pitch anyway, and he's actually not as good as O'Reilly when you're talking about a proper wing play.
Yeah.
Mate, we are not ready for Doku and Makitic to start tomorrow, are we?
Isn't Morgan our second biggest goal scorer this season?
Yeah, but he inverts though, Bevel. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
So you can't play Gavadio and Marmoush off the left and still have a wing threat on the left, and we'll be far too narrow. We need to stretch their defense tomorrow. And you know, Marmoush can
Wembley's a big pitch as well.
It's a massive pitch. If you have Marmoush coming off the left in field, their midfielder comes, their fullback comes with him, and then you just push Nico O'Reilly out there, getting a ball, just say we'll be whipping in crosses to Haaland at the back post. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the game plan, man. I think that's the game plan for me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's booked in for diving. Diallo's just gone down for a potential pen. He's booked in for diving.
Oh,
so that's another.
You will never catch me rooting for United in any game, but you guys do. Yeah.
I'm not wanting United to win. I'm wanting Chelsea to lose.
I can't do that.
We just need a draw. We just need.
That is a bad dive.
I just think. I think. Yeah. My ideal front three is probably just going to be Savio, Haaland, Marmoush. I think you have to have Haaland and Marmoush for the same reasons why, you know, it was mentioned before about Southampton that obviously there were more reasons why we didn't score against Southampton than just this, but it's obviously the fact that everyone has just Haaland to focus on. So that means that there's no distraction. Like when you've got Marmoush and Haaland both on the pitch, they can both occupy defenders and sort of drag people away.
Marmoush for me has been our best player since January. So for me, why would you?
He's been very consistent as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're taking a genuine threat out of the team for somebody else now. He's got to start. He's earned his start. He's been a better player.
Agreed.
Yo, big up Tarek, man. What you saying?
Big up, fellas. Big game.
Tarek.
Big game coming up.
Yeah, it is a big game, man. How you feeling about the game tomorrow, bro?
Why I get the late trick, kind of like the late B and all that. Why they do me like that in the chat? I don't understand. I gotta work, man. I'm in the U.S. It's only 4:30.
Late tea, man.
Yeah, it's only 4:30. I'm sorry.
This guy be slacking, chat, cooking like you cook me in it.
They were giving you the business. Anyway, yeah, you know what? First of all, I know there was a conversation about Ederson versus Ortega. Do I think there's a chance that Pep plays Ortega? Yes, but I think we all agree he should absolutely be playing Ederson in that match. But yeah, you know, it's a big match, big chance for people to step up. And I'm with you. I want the same back four with Nunez in it, but if you give me O'Reilly and you know gonna play Akanji, then so be it. But I'd say go back to what's been working. So, in my opinion.
1-0, by the way.
Did they score? You're ahead of me.
Cucurella's just fucking scored.
Fuck. You're ahead of me.
What does that mean now, Joe?
That means that it's back to needing 2 wins unless Chelsea drop.
It's a win and a draw in it that we need.
Is it a win and a draw?
It depends on their next results as well, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they're going to do next game. So
we had to win both anyway. Let's be honest. We just had to win fucking win them anyway.
Oh, that's not good, that, I'm real talk, man, bro. We need to win both games.
Because it
depends on them, innit? It depends.
Playing Forest, so neither of them can obviously win. So I think it's like a win and a draw.
So we need Yeah, so they go 1 point ahead of us with this. So if we win on Tuesday, it means we haven't automatically. It means we haven't automatically qualified, which means that we would then still, in theory, need a win on the final game to be definitely qualified.
We are 6th now.
Are we 6? Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I know everyone's doom and glooming it, but we've got a game in hand, so just chill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is still with us having a game to play.
Game in hand. Just get
if we win that game,
take care of business. We're all right. Simple as that.
If we win that game, we're 4th. Yeah. So
if we can't win against a team who's got nothing to play for, I mean, we said that last week at home, we don't deserve it.
Yeah, they had something to play for.
Yeah, they did, but I can't back the on the beach thing anymore because we could beat Southampton. We're pretty much on the beach.
Facts.
Everybody wants to win a game of football.
To Joe's point, though, they did have something to play for, even if it was just professional pride.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to
Yeah.
be in that same conversation as Derby County. But, you know, Bournemouth, what do they really have to play for? It's not going to change one thing or the other. And they're going to potentially lose Hoyson, or however we say his name. He may not be playing because he's going to sign with Real. So there's still a chance.
They
that,
can still get European football, though, can't they?
Yeah, I think if Brentford and Brighton drop points this weekend, then in theory a Bournemouth win puts them into like the.
Can you imagine if we played Europa League and United qualified to the Champions League? Can you imagine
I didn't even clock.
Don't.
Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
That's a possibility as well.
Especially after we let them take all those points off of us.
It's fucking true, because it's a very good possibility that might happen.
That's wild.
I always think, that whatever competition that you win, so if you win Europa League, you should automatically qualify to the Europa League again next season, not go up one.
Nah, I've always thought, right, if you win the Europa League, I think you should get the entry.
Yeah, you should get the Champions League. Yeah,
I'm with Bevo. I don't think you should be. I mean, again, especially in a situation like now. In the past, when you had to beat Champions League teams that dropped down, maybe, but not now. These are 15th and 16th, 17th place teams who are gonna get a chance for the Champions League. I don't think that they deserve it.
All right. Well, let me go back to Al, because Al, you said before you want Foden to start. Explain your reasoning for that, given the fact he's not.
Just before you go, bro, I'm gonna have to bounce in it, yeah. But listen,
sweet, bro.
It's always a pleasure, innit? Big up for having me on, man. Yeah.
Big up, Steve, man.
Where you going?
Appreciate you, man.
I'm getting active in it. That's all you need to know. Listen, everybody, enjoy tomorrow, yeah. If you're going to the game, LB, enjoy the game, yeah.
Yeah, big up, Steve, man. Big up,
lads.
Steve.
Go on, Al. Talk to us about Foden. Why do you want Foden in the team, bro?
I just think a cup final, you need someone that's been there, done it, and got a t-shirt. And Foden, you have to put him in somewhere for me. He can only play 60 minutes, because after that, he hasn't got the energy. So you play, and then you bring on Savio for the last 20 minutes.
But do you not think you should play players that are in semi-decent form at their minimum for a cup final?
Well, Foden hasn't been in form all season, has he? There's an 8-time a point where he's played well.
He had a decent January. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's not been good at all.
But what? So this is the point I'm making. For a cup final, do you not think you should be picking players that have earned it this year with their performances?
I think he'll play him on Saturday, but won't play him on Tuesday.
And why do you do that? Just because it's a cup final, he's done it before?
Well, Tuesdays now, with the way he's just gone, is more important, because you can forget any target if we don't make top 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be starting Foden on tomorrow. I think.
I mean, let's be honest. Foden, he's probably the most out of form player we've got right now. Let's be honest, he isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Of all the players that have been struggling, he is the one that's most out of form by a considerable way for me.
I don't want to start a pile on, right? But my favorite stat is he's assisted Thomas Partey more recently than he's assisted one of our players. It's kind of sad.
Wow. That's depressing.
I think its last GA was January 25th.
Yeah. Which he did have a good January. He's just been miles off it since. I just sort of think you can start a player like that when they're in such out of form and you're in a cup final. I'd have him on the bench. Potentially look at bringing him on the bench, maybe bring him off the bench for the last 20 minutes or something if we need him, or even if we don't need him and get.
If we were playing this final back in January when we were struggling for players that were fit, then yeah, he's playing. But it's all now about players who are in form and who are in a good moment. He's not. Simple as that. And realistically, he shouldn't even be on a squad. If you're thinking about form and stuff, there's other players that are probably going to miss out for Foden.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Even McAtee's not. He's played better than him in the last 3 or 4 months. He's likely that he probably wouldn't make the match day squad. You just don't know, do you? So if he was genuinely being down to form and input and output, he wouldn't be in the match day squad for me. But he will.
He's gonna play all the older. He's gonna play that whole the unks, quote unquote. He's gonna play that whole group, including Bernardo. Probably Bernardo right on the right wing. Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably what happens because Marmoush is playing on the left. as opposed to say Doku. So, and I don't see Doku on the right. You could bring in Savio, but I think it'll probably be Bernardo.
Doku's an impact player. He's a player you want to bring on in like the 60th, 70th minute.
Well, we brought him on
seems
last
to be
year,
one.
didn't we, at half time? And he was the best player on the pitch for City in that game. Fucking tore it apart, hit the post, didn't he, as well? He was class. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's interesting to see what he's going to do tomorrow. Like, because as much as a lot of us want priority over the FA Cup, I know a couple of you want Champions League over the FA Cup. I think Pep 100% will be prioritising the Champions League. I'll be real with you, man. I think the amount of times he mentions it in the press conferences, how important it is for the football club. You know, I mean, you only get like 3 million for winning the FA Cup. You get 100 or something if you get in the Champions League, man. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he does.
He does like an interview in March every year saying, "Today's a great day. We've qualified for the Champions League." He loves the competition.
Yeah. Nah, it is facts. See what you guys in the chat saying. Gary Doku, the GOAT, says, I think Pep plays Doku and Foden. Okay, interesting.
Plot twist, that's actually him, and he knows.
Yeah. See what else you guys are saying. Let's be real, Doku deserves to be a starter at the moment, says Elder. Yeah, but if you're starting, you've got to play him off the right. So do you want to play him off the right, or do you want to play Savio off the right? That's the question. I don't know, man. I don't know who I'd start on that right. I'm just finding it difficult because
Here's one for you. So, do you think you could see a little Rodri cameo tomorrow? He's with the travelling squad.
Wouldn't surprise me if he come off the bench. Really would not surprise me at all.
I'm gonna say no.
I doubt it.
This is a match that could end up in extra time. 120 minutes. There's no way I plan for him to come on because I don't know.
If it's over and it's 4 or 5-0, and you might just come on in the night just for symbolism. That'll be it. But for those thinking he's going to start, miles.
If he's with the travelling squad, then he's obviously fit enough to play some levels of minutes.
Yeah,
but I mean, Echeverry's with the travelling squad, and he's not deemed worthy of getting minutes either. Just because he's there, I think they're just bringing him along for the ride. Really, I don't think there's.
Why would he not travel with them?
Yeah, I don't think there's any intention for Rodri to get in this match. He probably will just be in the bench, in the stands.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Again, just get him around the club because I think he offers something just being there. He gives us some energy and some leadership or whatever. So I don't expect to see him at all.
No. Randomly, do you think there's any chance that Grealish starts tomorrow? Purely based on the fact that he's thrown Grealish in at mad games before.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like,
there is that argument, yeah.
This is a game that is one of our biggest games of the season, so that tells me that Grealish shouldn't start and has no chance of starting. But then in the previous big games, he started Grealish, so who fucking knows?
We can't just play all the players that are going to be leaving, Paul, because it's his last chance for a trophy. Like,
I know, but bro, Grealish wasn't playing at all. Then Real Madrid stuck him in for that. Then he played him in the
mate, every time he's come in, he hasn't done that badly. He's played.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so he's obviously he can if he's putting, he's going to be putting for a reason to do something. He's relatively done it in the last.
Because he's the GOAT, boys. It's because he's the GOAT. That's why. It's going to be. He's got to start.
You're bringing on Grealish. Who are you sacrificing? Marmoush? Haaland?
Marmoush plays right.
It'd have to be a midfielder, wouldn't it? It'd have to be a Gundogan.
I can only see a world where if Grealish starts, it would probably be on the left. But I think then you would probably play Marmoush in like the 10 position, and you'd have like I don't know which people you put behind him, like Kovacic and Gundogan maybe, and then because it sounds awful, doesn't it, when I say it out loud? And then if you've got Bernardo right wing or something, Grealish left wing, and then you've got ultimate control in the midfield 4, and then you've just got Marmoush and Haaland up front making life difficult for their defense. God knows that's the only way that I can imagine shoehorning Grealish into the side. Really, I don't expect him to do it at all. But then, as we've said, we've not expected him in quite a few of the games that he has actually started this season. So that doesn't mean that he won't.
I may have missed
that he won't do it.
Oh, sorry. I may have missed it, but do we just assume that Haaland's playing up top? Is there anyone that says that they don't think Haaland
I
will
think
play?
he will, bro. I think for me, when he got injured, they put that statement out. That pretty much told us that like he's not coming back unless we get to the FA Cup final. If you read between the lines, that's kind of what it said. And then lo and behold, the game before the FA Cup final, he starts and plays pretty much the full game.
If you don't play Haaland in a game like that, it gives such a boost to Crystal Palace. They'll think, fucking Haaland's not playing. We've got a real chance here. It gives them that extra 5% in the game.
And I think if you play Haaland and Marmoush, it gives them even more to think about, which is a bigger thing.
Run the back foot all the game then.
I think it keeps them deeper. And whilst that's going to make it harder for us to break them down, it'll make it easier for us to control them and not be so vulnerable on the counter attack. And if you look at where they were in the home game, like when they won the ball, they were like on the halfway line. I think if we play both of them, I think they'll be a bit more nervy, drop 5-10 yards, and that'll mean when we do lose the ball, they're miles away from that. Unless they just go full send and just fucking take the game to us. I don't think they'll do. But
you know the worst thing it'll be. Do you know the worst thing it'll be?
Go on.
And you know this. Every time Martin goes away from home to watch a game, we lose or we draw.
Oh, you're actually right as well, because he was at that Spurs game in the cup. And
he's in the chat now. He's in the chat. Yeah. And I'll tell you, every time he goes away, we don't get the result we need.
However, Alan, to counteract that, my last visit to Wembley was in 1999, and I could be the good omen.
No way.
Yeah, I could be the good omen. The last time I went there, I was 17.
Oh, that's mad.
That's fucking insane.
I could be the good omen, man. I've never lost at Wembley.
No way.
You should go. Martin, swap your ticket with Pulpy. You're staying at home.
Yeah,
I'm going, mate. I'm in. I'm on.
Pulpy's there, man.
Yeah.
And Martin, do the right thing, man.
Stay home.
Cancel that coach.
He even went to Southampton last week, and he had to drive 5.5 hours there and 5.5 hours back for that shit.
Yeah, it was awful, wasn't it? All right, cool. So, what you guys are? You guys confident then? How you guys? Because I tell you, boys, I ain't confident, man. I'll be real. I'm bare nervous in it. Like, obviously, it doesn't help. You're confident, yeah.
We'll batter him.
Fairly confident, yeah.
LB, take out the impending upsetness about the Champions League. Forget about that. Would you still be worried about it if it's just a straight one-off game in the final if the Champions League was already sorted? Because I think that's probably playing on a lot of people's minds is they're more worried about the Champions League now rather than actually wanting to win the FA Cup final.
It is with the result going away. Yeah, I agree.
But I think because of what I've seen this season, I would still be nervous because I don't know. I haven't seen us really just like dictate to other teams or, just control matches like that. So I would still be nervous even if we had Champions League already secured.
Okay. So on that one, Tarek, take away everything up to January. From January, would you still be nervous because we've done quite well since January?
Yeah, if the first half of this season hadn't happened, I probably would be because again, we've been really good these last few matches, except for the fact that we went to Southampton, the worst team.
Them games happen. We won't be the first team that does that, and we certainly won't be the last. I'm very confident. You know what I mean? I said this when we get going and something's on the line, we genuinely 9 times out of 10 win. When have we really ever not won a game? Southampton was probably the only one in a while where we've actually not.
I'll tell you what, Pulpy. Everything's on the line for Tuesday now. Everything.
Yeah, but I just don't think anyone in the City's camp is worried about Tuesday right now. Win the FA Cup final and then we'll deal with Tuesday. We've always done that. Next game. Arsenal are guilty of fucking hell. There's this final coming up in 3 weeks. We'll just take our foot off the gas and you get to the semi-final. You just fuck your shit. You just got to win games. Get the men to do the right thing.
I'm not even joking here. I reckon most of the players in the dressing room don't even know when our next game is who we're playing. Because if you look back a few seasons,
I hope they know when it is.
Well, if you look back a few seasons ago, there was that interview with Declan Rice, and Declan Rice, I think he was playing for West Ham at the time, or it might have been his first season at Arsenal. And he said to John, he said on the interview that he had a conversation with John Stones. And he was like, "Oh, we've got you next week." And John Stones was like, "Oh, have you?" Like, he hadn't got a clue. Because they generally focus on what's next. They just focused on
sounds
what's the
like
hero.
John Stones just rattled Declan Rice there. It's a bit of mind games that.
if we win tomorrow, right? Think about it. If we win tomorrow, right, that's a trophy under our belt. It's kind of added something to a shit season. And then Kev gets his trophy and the whole dressing room is absolutely buzzing. And then they realise, actually, we go again on Tuesday night and we just keep this momentum going. We've got an absolutely big, massive boost to take into Tuesday to say, actually, we fucking got the cup final. Now it's this one. And look what we've just done. We know exactly what we've got to do. Take what we've done. And Pep will just pick the team that is best and fit to be able to beat Bournemouth as well. He won't be thinking about Bournemouth. I don't think anybody in the squad will at all. It's the biggest game of the season is the next game.
Yeah, I agree.
But United are fucking shit, man. I can't believe how bad they are, bro.
Serves you right.
Can't
for
believe
thinking
he dropped
United.
points to them on multiple occasions.
They're shit.
They've been fucking about their own half for the last 20 minutes.
I know. That Haaland, by the way, oh my, I don't think I've ever seen a worse striker than him.
I'll never forgive them three teams that come up this season have got blood on their hands because
I know.
Honestly, if one of them had been half decent, United are gone.
Oh my God, Maguire
£24 million more than Haaland.
Yeah,
Are you not going to hit the 40-point mark? They're not going to hit the 40-point mark, are they? We're not.
Not if
they
they
need
lose.
1 point. They need a point for the last game of the season.
40-point mark's going to be changed to a 35-point mark in a couple of seasons. Football's falling off.
That's what I mean. They got blood on their hands. Them teams that gone down.
Boy. Before we wrap up, let me ask you just a couple of questions about our transfer rumours. Not Wirtz, don't worry, because I know everyone's bored about that. Tijani Reinders, with apparently City are ready to make a move. Shout out Party Time and told us this last week, but Fabrizio Romano's been speaking about this. Danny, what are you saying, man? Tijani Reinders, bro?
I think he's a fantastic player. I think he solves a lot more problems. He can go forward. He can do a decent job defensively. And, when you play teams like Southampton, you can't break him down. He's another option. I think he's got most goals, top 5 leagues from midfield, which is fantastic. And all the signs are pointing to us signing him. So happy days, really. But then again, win these next 3 games. That's where I'm focused on.
Yeah.
But I got no complaints, really.
I like how the club is moving, signing other midfielders whilst they're still battling for Wirtz. Like, they've learned from the mistakes with the Jude Bellingham thing.
Yeah.
I mean, which is
that was my big problem when it came to, obviously, after the Wirtz stuff broke. My whole thing was the idea that it looked like at the time it was Wirtz or we're not doing anything. And now it looks, well, obviously, apart from Gibbs White, which looks like it was basically wrapped up. But now it looks like, I mean, Gibbs White is one that still seems to be there in the background and just sort of wait until the end of the season. We've obviously got Reinders as well, seemingly on the, in the works. And then potentially Wirtz as well. I mean, if we did do 3 midfielders, that would be mad. But it would be exactly what we need, really. I think.
We need it.
And then I think, so it's good to see.
It?
Like you say, it's good to see that whether it's just the fact that they just saw a lot of bitching and moaning on social media after the Wirtz buy-in stuff broke, or whether they're just like a switch flipped a week or so ago that sort of kicked all of City's transfer activity off. Feels like in the last 4 or 5 days we've actually seen moves start to actually be made in the transfer window.
People need to calm down. People need to calm down and say, when Gibbs White, everyone's like, oh, what about Wirtz? Oh, what about Reinders? He's fucking shit. Oh, what is going on with his club? Oh, we're in there. And I was like, just calm down. Let the club do the business. They were probably agreed to Gibbs White deal a month ago. They've probably been working on Wirtz deal for the last month. And the Reinders thing, apparently, it's been agreed for a while, and they wanted him, and they've identified him, and they're just doing things right by AC Milan and just letting things take the natural course. You don't just get things done. That one's done, bosh, we're away. You know what I mean? It's just got to relax, lads. Relax, let the club get.
I've never seen a transfer talk like this, though. Like,
until next year.
Like this Wirtz thing. You've got Liverpool at 10 o'clock in the morning after him. Then by 12, it's City are getting him. Then by 2, it's Real Madrid are getting him. And by 4, it's Bayern Munich are getting him.
Well, Babbo, that's the fucking media and the press.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's mad.
It'll happen next year. It happens all the time, mate. It's just they know that fans are hanging off on tenterhooks and everything they say. Romano is probably raking in shitloads of money just by people waiting and looking at it. It's just all about clicks and stuff now. That's all it is about now to them. They know that. They know that Christian Falk guy, anyway, just knows that if he just puts a little post out and just mentions Wirtz. She's that's what they want. When they literally don't know anything, they're just stirring the shit. It's just,
but at the same time, though,
that's the worst thing is. You see, if for instance someone come out now, it'd be all over social media about Wirtz this and Wirtz that, and Liverpool. It's just chill.
At the same time, though, Wirtz is like also playing this game like massively. Like he is like the media aren't making up that his family came and met with City representatives and Liverpool representatives. Like that did happen. Like it's just a case of he is playing.
Wirtz has not met Liverpool. He hasn't.
There's quite a few journalists who seem to disagree with that and they say that he has met with Liverpool.
But none from England, no?
Not in England.
None from England.
I've not seen any English journalists say that.
No,
it's all German.
Crap. He's not gone to Liverpool.
They said he's made contact with his camp, but they've never said that they met him on Tuesday.
I think it's just
he got flown into Blackpool for starters. When he be quiet. It's true. He got flown to Blackpool Airport on a private plane and driven straight to the Etihad, and then driven straight to the airport, put on a plane.
The thing is, all right. A lot of people are naive to think that one player will only ever talk to one club and that's it. He'll have talked to so many clubs. There'll have been. I wouldn't surprise you if Arsenal have had a nibble, Chelsea have had a nibble, just inquiring, and it might come out later down the line that other teams are interested. It's always going to happen. And people will get hold of something and spin it. I mean, let's be honest, Liverpool has won the league. They are within their rights to think they can sign someone like that. So they would, if that was us and that was our fan base, we'd be expecting us to be involved. Yeah, so it's not like it's a massive shock.
You know what's mad about this though? Obviously, Bevel was mentioning it a minute ago. It's like all the journalists are saying different shit. Like you've got Fabrizio Romano is basically saying that Liverpool are not interested that much and are not involved. Then you've got Plettenberg coming out saying that they met him on Tuesday. You've got Christian Falco saying that Liverpool are above City and that Liverpool have no chance, basically, which basically is saying City have got absolutely zero chance of signing.
And you've got Ornstein who broke the Liverpool stuff. It's actually
exactly. So it's like, bro, who to believe in it? But have you seen the latest news coming out today,
Lewis.
Go on,
every single journalist are liars. Every single one of them.
I don't know if they're liars. I think they're reporting what they're being told. But I think they're being misled. I think they're being told stuff which is in the interest of a club or multiple clubs or whatever. Yeah. I'm telling you something because I know you're going to go back and report it, and it's going to help influence it in my direction. So I just think it's a lot of BS by clubs, and they're manipulating the media, and the media are playing.
Yeah, they're too happy to be used, though, aren't they? They're too happy to be manipulated. They don't care.
Well, because now we're in a state where everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to be first to report it. So
I'll tell you this: I've got a bit of a theory on it. So I think what's happened, personally, is I think that it could have something to do with Wirtz's agent talking about the whole Liverpool thing to potentially try and force more money out of the deal. Because you do see that a lot with agents as well, where they're saying, "Oh, this club's now interested," in the hope that like City or Bayern Munich up the money.
I don't think so.
I think it's more. I think if it's anything, it's more likely to be that. I personally, my thought on it is that Wirtz knows he wants Bayern, and Wirtz's camp firmly want Bayern first and foremost, and they're doing everything they can in the media to make it very publicly known that they are willing to go somewhere else if Bayern don't stump up the money. Because Bayern are probably looking at the price tag, but Bayern are probably looking at the price tag, thinking, we don't really want to do that. But and then Wirtz is saying, I've got 2 Premier League clubs there who can probably who these Bundesliga clubs know can afford it, and they're both willing to sign me. I'm meeting with them because I'm willing to join them. So Bayern, you'd better fucking stump up this money, otherwise I'm not going to join.
I'm with you, Joe.
Look at it this way. So Bayern this season have already lost Muller and about to lose Sane for free as well. There's talk that they're going to have to sell players in order to bring Wirtz in. Are they going to have to lose potentially, with including the free transfers that they're letting go with Muller and Sane? They're going to have to let go of potentially up to 5 players, sell 3, lose 2, just in order to bring Wirtz in. They're not going to lose 5 players and replace them with 1.
I'm not sure. I'm
So,
not sure that's true.
Bayern-
That surely doesn't make any financial sense for that to be the case. Like Bayern,
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably have to.
Exactly. But the talk
But getting rid
is,
of like Sane and Muller are like surely. I would imagine too. I mean, Sane definitely because he signed a massive deal with them. He joined. He must be one of their like higher earners, and Muller maybe probably not because he was like in his mid-30s. He's probably been taking like slight
Well, I
wage
bet he's still on a
reductions for a while
tasty
now.
contract, Joe. I bet he's on.
Yeah, he's probably still on like
250
200 grand a week, maybe higher.
You're right, but Wirtz is also going to be on a tasty contract. He's not going to go there for 150 grand a week.
You see that guy run on the pitch in this game? He just got fucking rugby tackled by the steward. The guy ran on the pitch in this United game, and the guy rugby tackled him. What the fuck?
What a beast!
Sorry. Oh, you don't normally see that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
I'm with Joe,
if
by
you
the way.
mention
I'm with Joe on this.
I'm also with Joe. I agree. I don't think there's anything that suggests Bayern aren't the top runners here.
Yeah, here's a question though. Here's a question though for you, Joe. So that theory, do you think he's
Yeah.
playing poker and that if Bayern can't stump up the cash, he will join City or Liverpool, or do you think
Yeah.
he'll wait?
I think he ultimately like. I think he will have. I think he will join Sex. I think ultimately he wants to go now, no matter what. I think with Alonso's going, like Frimpong's going, Tar's going, like Leverkusen are fucked next season, basically, aren't they? And I don't think he really wants to hang around whilst they flail for a year trying to do something. He probably wants to get the move now, and I think that whilst Bayern might be his camp's preferred option. This is all just like me speculating. I don't know any of this. I've got no sort of like solid reporting to basis off. But I think he obviously must. He seems to have some interest in Manchester City. Like there are enough City in the know people and like some like journalists who've given some impression that we're interested in Wirtz and that is to some extent reciprocated. So I think look if Bayern turn around and say we can't buy you. Like we just cannot, for whatever reason, we just can't make it happen this summer.
We can't.
I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility that he does join. I don't even think Liverpool is like that. Liverpool have just given fucking Salah and Van Dijk like massive contracts. Like where are they getting the money to sign?
But they've
like,
just
to
lost
spend
Trent,
100?
though, haven't they?
Good point.
Well,
The reason they lost Trent is because they wouldn't give him a big contract.
Yeah, they wouldn't
couldn't
give him a
all
big
three
money.
of them big contracts. So the fact that they gave the two big contracts means they don't have the money. Or
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they could
Plus-
find it if they wanted it.
Plus
but they're not
100
willing
million
to
plus
spend it.
plus 100 mil plus transfer fee on top of said
Yeah.
contract as well. Like it seems very unreal, very unlikely that Liverpool have got the finances to actually do it, and therefore it means it's a straight shoot between us and Bayern. So I think ultimately if Bayern turn around and say here's the money, we'll get it done, then it gets done. Like it's
But I don't
progress.
discount though. I don't discount the fact that the way Bayern are moving in the in the way they're moving in this situation, I think the parents are a bit ticked off because again, you went out and you leaked this to try to gain an upper hand, and it put the dad in a bad position with the team that he's already at, and he could decide I want to stay here for another year, and so now you've put me in a bad position, so that maybe takes it off the table or whatever. So I do think when it comes to kind of recruiting, which is what we do here in the States, especially in college sports, I think how you move in that can affect. Maybe he didn't want Bayern the entire time, and maybe that was his plan. And now it's like, well, you know what? Let me think about this, because if you're willing to do this now, what are you going to do when I get there?
The talk around Bayern Munich at the moment is that they have to sell in order to bring Wirtz in. Now, if they're losing Muller on a free and they're losing Sane on a free, and then they have to still sell to bring in Wirtz, that
Eric
means
Dyer's also gone.
They have to sell 1-2 players. So they're losing 4 to bring 1 in. Financially, it doesn't make sense for Bayern Munich to do that.
No, I agree. I mean that's
It depends who the 4 are though. Like it depends who the extra. Obviously, if they've got Sane, Muller, and whatever contract he's on, it's probably like 100-150 grand because they got him for free. I think you've got Eric Dyer, who's also
Neuer still there. Oh, Joe.
Neuer. I think has got. No, I think Neuer might. No, he won't be going because he'd have had a big deal made out of him as well as Muller, wouldn't it? Like, so it would have been that would have been a whole presentation.
There's no guarantee that Jonathan Tah goes there either. Like, there's talk that he might not even be going to Bayern.
But here's the thing about the Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen thing. If 4 players do leave Bayern and they do take Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, not Bayern Munich might have got a lot weaker, but we all know that Bayern Leverkusen aren't going to be their main challenge next year. So by letting Four go and taking Wirtz, they're weakening themselves, but they're also weakening the league even more that they can just fucking breeze through the league next year. There's not a decent competitor anymore because Bailey because they've just been absolutely pillaged, haven't they, for all their best players.
Yeah.
So
but you still lose.
They may look at it as but they may look at it as let's spend 2 years of a transfer budget on one player, knowing full well that actually we might be weaker, but the opposition's even weaker. And then in 2 years' time we're back to normal, and they've just got a player in.
They've also got
but
players.
You look at the minutes that Muller's played this season. You look at the minutes that Sané's played this season. They've still played genuine minutes.
They can afford to play absolute donkeys in that league and still walk it by signing the best player in the league as well.
Yeah.
So they might weaken themselves, but there's no opposition. Literally, there's no one. The best managers left the league. The best players gone to the biggest team in the league. And
if Tar doesn't go to Bayern, he'll go somewhere else.
Starters anyway, so
yeah.
I always fear that Wirtz will go there, and if City signed him, I'd imagine in 3 years he'd be fucking one.
Yeah, he might still want to go there. Exactly.
Yeah, I could never sit comfortably knowing that if Wirtz signed for us, that we've got him like we have De Bruyne and Adam, we've had Gundogan and Fernandes, all these players. We just would never have that. Would always be.
Yeah, but in 3 years' time, there'll be a new guy.
Propaganda's out. Yeah, the other thing again is though, it's like people always have this assumption that as soon as someone joins City, they're going to leave in a few years. There was the talk of Pep. He'll only stay for 3 years. 10, 11 years later, he's still here. Look at Haaland. Haaland's dad, Alfie, actually came out publicly to the media before Haaland signed for City and said that his plan is that he wants to do every league. He wants to do Serie A, he wants to do the French league, he wants to do La Liga. He's just signed a 10-year deal. When people genuinely, when people come to City, they don't really leave. And if they do leave, it's either because we force them out of the club because they're getting old, or they leave on good terms.
The one exception to that is Leroy Sané, who went to Bayern.
That's the thing about you're right about everything you said, Bevo, but you just can't. You can't.
He still didn't leave on bad terms. He still visits the club, still comes into the training centre and sees the players and stuff. He never left on bad terms.
I just think there's something about Bayern, mate, and there always will be something about Bayern that German players will play for Bayern Munich. It's like a calling for them. You just can't. You can't legislate for it. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are. If Bayern comes sniffing, it's like Real Madrid. It's just something about them, and it'll always be there.
I don't think it's actually Bayern itself. I think it's the German national team, and it's like, if you got to be playing over here, and that's the team that you're going to go play for. I think it's more about I want to be in position for the German national team call-ups on a regular basis. But again, are they not going to call up? Are they not going to call up Wirtz? They're going to call up Wirtz. They're just not going to not call him up. So again, I think they've been made to feel as if I have to go there in order to be called up. But I think he's good enough that doesn't.
Our second choice goalkeeper's just been called up to the German national team, and he plays FA Cups.
But is that like third
position of need,
keeper
probably.
or something?
And
also as well though, but didn't Sané miss out on the World Cup or the Euros? It is there is also.
I don't know that Sané then was what Wirtz is now to the German national team. They had more players. They were younger. They had players that were in their prime. So it was you could justify not taking Sané, even if I thought he was all world. You should have brought him, but they could justify it. I don't think you could justify going into a World Cup or Euros or whatever next tournament
and leaving Wirtz at home
and leaving him off. You would be justified.
So a question for you: who is, if you're looking about the German national team, who is the greatest ever German attacking midfielder?
I don't know.
They've had some great players, but there's not necessarily some that stand out as the greatest attacking. There's not necessarily number 10. So if you think about it, in 15 years' time, you could be looking at Wirtz as retiring as Germany's greatest ever attacking midfielder. And if he and to somebody like that, and the legacy that Germany have got and Bayern Munich have got, that right there is something that doesn't come along too often for a German player. It's just the thing. It's just that.
The only problem is
the best strikers, the best wingers, the best defensive midfielders, the best goalkeepers. So for somebody like Wirtz, who is arguably one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, for him to go through his career and just once football's all said and done, and he's had his 15 years at Bayern, he will be the biggest German legend in that position. And I think
the thing is though,
he'd never get it for City. He'd never get that play for City.
at Bayern, he'd be sharing that time. Well, not sharing that time, but be sharing the pitch with Musiala, who's also doing exactly the same thing. Who's trying to be.
Yeah, no, but Musiala's a bit more versatile than Wirtz is, right? I think. I'm just saying for Wirtz, the draw is more than just what you're going to get paid and what trophies you might win. There's a legacy there for him, and for the German national team, it's look at it. It speaks for itself. I just think that's the thing at the top of the. That's the icing at the top of the cake.
I think the main thing with Wirtz, the main thing that should make him want to go to City instead, and I always think that anyone who goes to Bayern is just like a coward who's joining the German Celtic. Like, it's just you have no like. You obviously don't like competition if you're joining Bayern. Like, it's just, you obviously just think of it as like football is just boring to you. But I think that with City, it's like you're replacing Kevin De Bruyne. Like, you're going to go and be the centerpiece of what certainly for the next few years is a Pep Guardiola side. But going into the future is like going to be, you'd be thinking about, it's whoever it is that comes in after Pep. It's still going to be a team that is very seriously like looking at winning the Premier League over the next decade or so. You should be looking at that as a player who's got the ambition of what a top player should have, and thinking, yeah, I can walk into Kevin De Bruyne's shadow and do that. I can step into his shoes and do that job. Whereas I think at Bayern,
if they don't play Champions League. We don't get Champions League.
But yeah, if we don't get Champions League, it's different. But I think we will.
I'll say this with chest. Even if we don't get Champions League, we are getting Wirtz. I'm telling you now.
Not a chance. If he's not going to the Europa League.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think it's important that we get it.
You sign a player, right, for a project. We've just won 4 Premier Leagues in a row, and because we've had one shite season, we're automatically now not getting Wirtz.
Yeah, we've also been relegated next to the next tier down on transfers. I don't think that's the case either, Bevo.
I don't know. I originally was with you, Bevo, but then
originally we had this discussion a while ago, didn't we? And we all agreed that like Champions League is kind of irrelevant to the discussion. But I think with Wirtz, given the way that he's moving for Bayern, I think
it's back to the best manager in world football. We will be back there. We will be there.
No, but Bevo, the thing is, he's so perfectly on the fence right now that, like, why wouldn't he go to the team that's in the Champions League?
Yeah.
Ed is in the chat saying he's doing his medical on Saturday.
You don't sign for a club for one season. Like, you sign for a club to be a part of the project moving forward.
Yeah, but some people like the project of Bayern Munich having a young German side that is guaranteed Champions League football every single year. There is no off year for Bayern. Like,
the only thing about that is why would you go and have to potentially be in Musiala's shadows potentially?
Yeah,
you kind of play the same position. It's one thing to say you come here, you're going to be in Haaland's shadows, but again, you can feed Haaland the ball, you can get those assists, you can still be in those conversations for Ballon d'Or.
Kev's never been in Haaland's shadows even since Haaland's joined. It's always been Kev and Haaland.
Fair, and again, because Kev is getting nearly 20 assists a season. So I think if you come here and you do that, you'll still be in those conversations for Ballon d'Or. If you go to Germany and you're playing with, a guy that's playing effectively the same position in Musiala, I think it's going to be a little bit harder. It's the Mbappe and Vinny Jr. They're kind of playing the same position.
They play together for the national team anyway, mate, and they just
but
I don't think it's a bigger deal as you're making out. If I'm honest,
maybe. But again, it's one thing when you have to get called up for it's one thing to get called up for Germany and play together. It's another thing. That's like Gerrard and Frank Lampard. They played together for England, but would they have been able to play together consistently week in, week out on a actual club team? I don't know. You guys would know better than me because I didn't watch this.
I feel like with this whole narrative of Wirtz and Musiala, that they're going to be playing together at Bayern, and that's going to be really good for Germany. I don't feel that, because it's kind of like working with your wife. Like, you spend all your time with this person at your club, and then when you go into the office, when you do go into the office, i.e. away with your national team, it's like, fucking hell, they're still here. Like, I just don't see it.
If City were lucky enough to get Wirtz, right, and let's be a bit pragmatic and say, if he did 10 years, and given that Pep's not going to be here for that amount of time, let's say realistically he won 4 leagues in that time and 1 Champions League. That's a good haul for anybody to have as their thing. But if Wirtz was to go to Bayern Munich in that time, in 10 years, win 9 leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, and be elevated as one of Bayern Munich's greatest ever players, and arguably one of Germany's greatest international attacking midfielders, I think if you weigh those 2 up, regardless of the money and the prestige, if it was a choice between anybody else, you'd probably choose City as the football project, but the German thing and the German national team and the prestige, and when football sounds on, he goes back to his national country and he is an idol. He's got the ability to do that. And I think that's what's going to swing it. We can all say what we want, but I think eventually, if you think about it, if there's a choice,
so based on what you said, Popey, you don't think we're going to get him? You don't think he?
No, not now. No, Bayern will find the money.
I see it. I see it, and I agree with you. And it probably is a little bit biased because obviously I'm a City fan, so I'm going to hold City in the highest regards. But at the same time, I've still got to back my club to do what. Yeah, but what they.
I agree. But we don't have a history other than Haaland, who had a release clause. We don't have a history of getting these kind of signings over the line. Yeah. Like we just don't do it. There is no evidence. There is no evidence to suggest that we go in. There's no evidence to suggest that we go into bidding wars or quote unquote bidding wars with these 100 million plus signings who don't have release clauses.
No, just walk away.
Like, we just don't do it.
Okay, we're either the number one. We're either your number one choice, or we're done. Simple as that. We'll just move on to other targets.
But then we've always had cheeky. We've always had cheeky to do that. Who's to say that Viana doesn't work differently?
Viana's the guy who's buying like fucking Reese and Kusanov. Like he's not the guy who's going to walk in and put 150 million down the table for Wirtz. Realistically, like,
well, again, we don't know if he is or he isn't because he hasn't had the opportunity to because he's been at Benfica supporting him.
If we don't get Champions League, forget him.
I mean, I agree with that.
I'm with you, Alan. I'm with you.
I agree with that.
And if we don't get Champions League on, right, and we don't get Wirtz, it's not the end of the world, mate. We will be back, and there will be other Wirtz in 2 or 3 years. So there's a lot of doom and gloom, and a lot of people thinking it's the end of the world, and like the club's going to go bust if we don't get a Champions League. It's not.
Get fucking Echa Messi in the team, mate.
Well, it gives you an opportunity. It does give you an opportunity then to actually say, well, we have to get back there, and we can't get him, so we have to get somebody else, and we just move on.
Real talk, yeah. Not even capping, yeah. Go and fucking put 40 million down on Maston Tuono if you don't get Wirtz, bro.
Yeah, but
I just thought he was going somewhere.
Apparently, he's like infatuated with Real Madrid. Oh, so
shock! South American player loves Madrid.
I know.
It's. I think personally, like, I don't expect us to get Wirtz at all because of this whole Bayern thing. But I do still believe, as I said a week or so ago when we had this last panel about it, I think if you let Kevin De Bruyne walk out the door and do not secure a signing like Wirtz, you've fucked it. It's as simple as that. Like you have to, yeah.
So put us all on the record, LB. I'm on the record as saying that we will sign Wirtz. Calling it now.
I'm with you.
I'm going on the record. We will sign him.
Say it with chest.
I think we'll sign him if we get Champions League football. If we get Champions League football.
So this is all predicated upon us.
Why? Because we're Manchester City Football Club. That's why. Say it with chest.
That didn't work for Rice or Bellingham or any of these other big sort of signings we've gone for.
Right? Yeah. Right.
I think if we get Champions League,
work with Haaland, work with David Silva, work with Aguero. Like, yeah, you don't always get the signings that you want, but at the end of the day, if we really, really want this player and we're heavily invested in it, and we sell him the good project, then why wouldn't he come? I'm saying it with chest.
Them players you just made came for the money, and they did.
It's also very true. Yeah,
right. Wirtz comes for the money. I don't give a shit. He like City.
Yeah,
isn't it? Same here. Fucking get Wirtz from the money.
Yeah, but we were offering. We were offering David Silva like far more money than anyone else was offering, and I'm pretty sure United turned him down not long before we did. Aguero, Madrid offered him, Atletico offered him to us because the alternative was Real Madrid, and Haaland Haaland might have loved it because he's a City fan. Haaland legitimately did look at us versus Real Madrid and picked us because Madrid are a bit of a sort of a signings strategy-wise a bit of a shit show for a while in terms of the attacking positions. But yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, like we were willing to put down far more money on those players than other clubs were. We're now at a point in time where Bayern will happily put down as much money, contract-wise, as we will put down for Wirtz. Like, so the coming for money thing doesn't really hold anymore in terms of that.
What are you saying, Joe? What are you saying? You saying we sign him, Danny?
No, I don't think we sign him. No, I think he goes to Bayern.
Gun to my head.
As well.
Probably.
Boring.
No, don't think so.
Would I sign him? Yes. Will we sign him? No. If we sign him, I expect him to leave within 3 years. So
It's all right. I'm just getting ready for my,
Either way, it
next
doesn't end well for us.
Twitter post. Just
Yeah.
getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
Just get ready for my next one. It's okay.
You did.
Don't
Just
worry,
gonna clip this right here.
We'll be waiting for those apologies.
Yeah, just clip it right here.
Like,
If we sign him,
me
I'm
and
coming on the
Tarek are on
apology
that
stream.
10 years.
do it.
In 10 years, if we're still doing his panel shows, mate, and Wirtz is about to walk out the door after a 10-year stint, I will say sorry.
Pat Guardiola was
Read the receipts,
Pat Guardiola was Mr. Barcelona. He loved Barcelona. Even now, he still talks about Barcelona. But he's been at City 3 times as long, if not nearly 4 times as long.
But that's totally different. Barca have like a whole political structure
How is
around
he
them that makes it
different?
fucking... you don't understand how us are different to how managing Manchester City, who are just like a Sheikh Mansour funded football club who can buy and sell whoever they want, basically, is different to Barcelona.
Whoa.
You sound like our the ops.
City is factually less stressful to manage than Barca, who have the political sort of the top level like politics. You've got the ownership government, like the ownership elections and shit like that. You have to basically be the face of like all these unpopular opinions.
Not signing for Bayern Munich going to have the whole weight of Germany on him.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. And that is a genuine thing. Well, but he's also sharing. But he's also sharing that with Musiala.
He'll have the whole weight of his replacement if he's over here. So it's not like there's no pressure if he comes here. In fact, there's even more pressure. You're replacing the greatest Premier League midfielder of all time. That's plenty of pressure.
Yeah, there's pressure anywhere, isn't it? Let's be honest, there's pressure wherever you go.
Embrace it. I don't want players who don't embrace the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think all the ones who go to Bayern are cowards. Because
if you want to win a trophy every year at Bayern, go. You're not ready for the competition here. You're not ready to fight in the best league in the world. And as much as I love other leagues, this is the best league in the world. This is the most competitive league in the world. Come here, be ready to fight. If you don't want to fight, do one.
If you pick Bayern in the Bundesliga,
no chance.
Yeah, if you pick Bayern in the Bundesliga over City in the Premier League, then you've like I say, you've got an easy life.
Weak-minded, yeah.
All right, well let's let me do the super chat. See what you guys
don't forget Pep in this
conversation. Before you do, mate, what happened to the Reinders talk?
Reinders. Reinders is. I think we're all buzzing on Reinders, isn't it? I think basically everyone's just buzzing about Reinders. I think he's a great player, great signing, good price. Peak player, not a project.
LB, will he come if we don't finish Champions League?
Yeah.
Reinders? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. They're not even going to be in Europe, mate.
And I'll say AC Milan need him to go. They're going to need the money.
Yeah.
Well, they're not even in Europe. Oh, they're fucking 9th. Oh.
Even if we were in Europe, I still think we game because. But didn't Bournemouth sign some Juventus players? And they, you know what I mean? So it's like, come on.
That Huijsen came from Juventus, didn't he?
Yeah,
is that where they got him from?
Other teams are picking players from the top 4 teams in Italy then to suggest we wouldn't be able to get Reinders even if we were 15th in the league.
I think the only player that we can't sign this summer if we don't get Champions League is Wirtz. I think everybody else on our list is still coming.
I'm with you.
And it's good because like those two players in Reinders
before I go, just say one thing. Don't go to any away game, please. Because if he's there, we ain't getting top fucking 5.
In terms of Reinders and Gibbs White, like I think it's a case of it's good to have, because obviously Gundogan and Kovacic might not be going this summer, but they will be going next summer if they don't. And it's good to have 2 players in Reinders and Gibbs White who basically are ready to take their minutes off. Like we're not doing the thing where we're waiting for the players who have already gone before getting their replacements in. We're getting them in, so there's actually a bit of like overlap and sort of phasing out of the old players to then get the new guys ready and to hit the ground running once those players have actually left and walked out the door. So the idea that we're replacing 2 of our 8s already. Like, I think there's still a chance that Kovacic maybe does go in the summer. I don't know if the Saudi talk's going to pick up again or what, but I think and apparently it's not totally ruled out that Gundogan does also go, despite his contract having been automatically extended. I don't know. I think he probably does stay, to be honest. But either way, it's good to know that we have sort of the next 8 sort of coming in through the door, even if they both still stay.
Have we all settled on the fact that Gibbs White is a good signing now?
Yeah, it's a good signing.
I've not settled on it being a good signing. I've just settled on it being a signing.
Yeah.
Depends how much it is.
I'm certainly happier about it now that we're probably bringing in Reinders as well. Again, like Joe said, if he's the face of our window, I'm terrified. If he's the second, third guy coming in, awesome.
I said that all along. I said, people were saying because he's the first one off the sheet that's the end and it's the big one. No, there'll be others. Deals take time. They don't get done
squad
overnight.
rotation, yeah. Maybe not as a starter. I don't know on the start. I think.
The thing is, though, if he's a squad rotation, right, and he starts the season, he does all right, and he becomes a starting player, and he's absolutely bang on, and he's mint, then
no one can moan at that.
I think that's all the club will want from him.
If he's a squad rotation player, it's an A+ signing. Maybe I'm glazing it a bit. It's an A+ signing. One injury doesn't derail our midfield like he did this season. I'm fine with it.
And he's got ability. You can't deny that he's got ability. I know the watch-alongs and stuff. People get an hard on for him. He's like, oh, this and he has a stinker, but you do see he's got ability. And the Forest fans love him.
Yeah. As long as we aren't spending like 80 million on him, because then I think I'll probably be much less enthusiastic about it.
Oh, look at this. Lucas is just. I will come to super chats in a minute. Paul keep on interrupting me, blame me. Man City are no longer interested in Andrea Cambiasso. The English club feel the player is too expensive. However, the Italy international's future at Juve remains uncertain. That's from
so what I will say.
I think
if this is
there's
true,
no talk of him extending his contract.
If this is true, Mr. Party Time's finished because he said Cambiasso was done. And I've bookmarked that mentally.
Party time being called out.
If this is true, Party Time's finished.
Sending shots.
I thought Theo Hernandez was AC Milan's best player the other day.
Yeah, I think Theo Hernandez will be the Cambiasso replacement because I read today that there's no talk of him signing a contract extension.
I saw that as well.
So
is he out of contract then?
Well, I think
he goes to Juve.
I think he's got a year left, but either way, like we've been linked with him for years, Theo Hernandez.
I don't think we have. I don't think we have been recently though, have we? And I think it's like to go from Cambiasso, whose like strength that I've been told about is that he can play both left and right back, to then go to Theo Hernandez, who's like a really attacking, overlapping.
It is quite different, isn't it?
They're not the same at all.
That's exactly what we're saying we need though.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, also true.
Even when we talked about the match coming up, we said we need
Nico
O'Reilly to bomb up and down the left so that Marmoush could play more inside.
Yeah.
So,
But then we also need a right back as well as that. Then we don't need a full
we do
back.
Need a right back.
We need a left and right back.
Maybe you could get like a Cambiasso right back. Like is there a right back out there?
Well, wasn't that? Haven't we agreed a deal verbally with Juventus?
Oh, is that Wesley guy in it?
No, he's purely a right back.
He's more like up and down the wing, man.
Livermento can play both full back roles. That's the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, but apparently City don't want to pay the money. Then they can switch.
Who's that Juventus right back that we've already agreed a deal with? That 21-year-old.
Savona.
Yeah. Apparently we've already agreed a deal.
That's a City group signing that, innit? Stinks of one.
Yeah. He'll be fucking sent to Girona, mate, because we bodied that club, by the way, this year. Fucking hell. Yeah. Champions League to relegation scrap in one season.
Maybe if this Wesley guy from Brazil is happening, then maybe that plus a left back is fine for them. And it's probably gonna and you're getting 2 players for not much more than you probably get Cambiasso for on his own. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing.
I think I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly want to talk transfers until we've sorted out the next two league games.
That's facts. That's facts, Alan.
Well, fuck up, then.
I'm really pissed off. I'm that pissed off that we're 6th now, and we need 2 wins. I'm pissed off, and it's all the hierarchy at City's fault that we're in this position. I'll say that now.
No one will disagree with you.
Are you ever happy? Are you ever happy, Alan?
I'm happy.
Are you ever?
I'm happy when City win, United lose, and I'm not happy when United are fucking relegation fodder and they're going to play Champions League. That's ridiculous.
He's born pissed off, Alan says.
Inzaghi was born upside. Alan was born pissed off.
Right, let me do these
That's why I live in the convict country now. Do you know what I mean? I got sent over to Australia.
Let me do these super chats, man. We've been here ages. Chat Amar says Jack needs to start preparing for his loan deal. Says Amar. Yeah, Newcastle, I've seen that. Newcastle on loan apparently is being linked. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, it's not looking like City are going to get a transfer fee this summer for him.
Where's he going to play though? For Newcastle?
It'll probably be rotation, won't it? Rotation in that midfield and rotation left winger. But they've got Harvey Barnes as well, so they probably need to flog him.
They've got Harvey Barnes and they've got the young lad that plays for England. How's that going to happen? Yeah? How's that going to happen? Do you know what I mean? Unless we get Gordon. Unless we can sign Gordon.
I think Gordon plays a lot. Gordon plays on like either wing at the moment, doesn't he? Really, so it's like I think Grealish can come in and play one side.
Let's face it, Gordon's better than any of our wingers.
Yeah, but the bar is low.
Yeah, the bar is not high.
Honestly, man, like people don't deep how fucking bad our wingers are. Like
it's crazy, isn't it?
It's shit. It's shit. Oscar Bob's good. That's it. The rest is shit.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's not kicked a ball for the first team like seriously since fucking last year.
But this is what happens when you buy project players all the time. You've got to have a mix of a fucking project and then no project. But we've just got project. We've got 3 project players in our.
We've got no wide players that are any good, and we've got no fullbacks that are any good. Midfielders.
We've got no midfielders that are any good.
Mate,
and
the club hierarchy are responsible for this mess that we're in.
When you really deep it, we haven't got a single fullback at the football club. Our midfield has got a combined age of over 100, and we've got project wingers, and we're still managing to somehow be in an FA Cup final and challenge.
Exactly, Bevel, which is why I've said when everyone's cooking Pep, even though he is partially to blame for some of the shit that's gone on. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it is. Of course, he is.
I feel that if you get better players in this summer transfer window next year, I think we'll be back on it. That's my opinion. Like you said on your last stream, LB, you had Foden from last season back into it, and a Rodri, and that's an instant 12 points game. Yeah. That's title challenging. Facts. Right, let me hit these chats, boys. LB says Pep said this club needs Champions League football. He's worried. Yep, we do need Champions League football. The only saving grace, LB, is that we got that Club World Cup. But if that gives you 100 million, so they might wing it. If we
LB,
but we need it.
LB, who gives a shit about that? Seriously,
the board, money.
No, Alan, I'm with you.
Money.
You got the money for rest purposes.
Money. Yeah, but they're not going to rest it if we don't get Champions League football, are they?
Then you almost have to win it.
You have to win it if you don't get Champions League football because you need the $120 million.
I'll be in Spain anyway. I ain't gonna be focused on.
Nah, Danny, I know you don't care, but I'm saying if we don't get Champions League football, you're going from £100 million Champions League down to 20-30 Europa. So you'll need to do well in that Club World Cup tournament to get the money.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Amar says no Champions League and no chance Wirtz or Reinders come. I think we get Reinders, bro. I don't agree on that one. Wirtz now. Shout out to Million. Says LB, you requested me to update you on this stuff. Yeah, no, bro. Don't worry. I enjoy your updates, bro. Don't feel bad, innit? He says Mastan Tuano yesterday was man of the match, was key in 3 of the 6 goals scored by River Plate. He won a pen, got a player sent off, and scored the pen. Subiabrera went on, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was an all-timer game until the red card. I was packing up my dorm last night because it was my last day, and I watched that game in the background. It was a good game. They went 2-1 down.
Did he do anything on that?
He was all right. They went 2-1 down, and then they tied it up with no own goal, and there was a red card, and they just ran away with it. I love Libertadores, man. It's good this year. A lot of heavy hitters really struggling. So yeah.
Was this your last year, Danny?
No, I'm only first year.
Oh.
Yeah, I did the Mastan Tuono hype on Twitter. It's going fucking crazy.
Where are you, Danny? Which?
California Lutheran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big up, man. Big up, cool guy. See, I feel Wirtz wants Bayer Leverkusen to benefit financially as the club helped him grow during his time there. He'll want to leave this summer than stay and get booed. Yeah, he don't want to run his contract down. He wants to leave, bro. He wants to go Bayern, but if Bayern can't pay, he'll leave and go City or Liverpool.
He does want to go to Bayern. That's what I think it'll happen to him.
Yeah, but they've got to pay the money out. That's what I'm saying. If they don't pay the money, he'll go City or Liverpool.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll be out of the race completely if we don't fucking win next week.
I agree. Echo Fall says, Wirtz has still a point to prove after losing Europa League final to Atalanta last season. He's waiting for us to bottle top 5 to confirm he's coming. Says Echo Falls.
I like it.
Shout to you. Shout Huang Man says, Joe Butterfield, your frustrations about missing out on Wirtz was listened by the hierarchy. Your magic has worked in getting Khaldoon to
Look, you're welcome, everyone. That's what I'm, you know, it's not a job that anyone asks me to do, but I'll do it anyway.
It's God's work, man. It's God's work.
It is. Look, if we sign that guy, I'll take my apologies when it comes to it.
Listen, JB.
You just said we're not going to sign him. What are we talking about?
You're not doing that. No. Because then you'll turn around if we don't get him and go, oh, I told you I was right.
No, it wasn't because I was right. It's because the club are sick of me and have gone, you know what, we're just going to spend 150 mil to shut this guy up. That's what it is.
Big up Patrick says Wirtz won't come to City if Europa be real Bevel says that.
Hold it with chest, Patrick. Hold it with chest. He will come. We will be there.
Big up Denton for the gifted, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Big up, man. Shout out to Cool Guy as well. Says if Wirtz is not inspired to join City and be coached by a treble and 4-peat winning coach, then fuck off. Get Morgan Gibbs White, Rangers, and play Etcher Messi. Brackets future star says. Cool Guy.
That all sounds great, except for the fact that Pep may not be here much longer than 1 or 2 seasons. So it's got to be more than just Pep, right?
Yeah,
and he could be inspired to join City, be coached by Pep, and be a 4-peat winning coach. But there's a bigger draw. You just got to accept that might be the truth as well.
Yeah, nice.
Join what Bayern, like a 9-peat trophy, like Bundesliga team. Like I think, they've got a bit of a pull themselves.
Yeah, but look at it from the other side, Jack. Inspired by Pep, but Haaland's just signed a 10-year deal, so Haaland's obviously got assurances elsewhere.
Yeah, but
he's a City fan.
He's a City fan.
Not German.
He's not played for the club, but he's not German. It's different, bro.
And plus, Haaland was signing a 115-month contract. There was a bit of a wind-up there as well. Well, mate, let's be honest. When it came out, I was in a restaurant with another City fan, and we both said, that's 115 months. And we both laughed and said, that's a wind-up massively.
Big up, man. Release clause argument does not work. That lowers the price and makes more competition. Bayern would have Wirtz tomorrow if you had a 60. Yeah, they definitely would have Wirtz tomorrow if they had a 60 million release clause. The only thing that's keeping this thing alive is the fact he doesn't have a release clause. Yeah, that's.
I think my argument around that at the time that this probably came in was that we definitely don't win when there isn't a release clause involved. Like we just don't go to those crazy numbers. Like we need to play like this and Bellingham and Rice.
We don't get involved in Dutch auctions. We don't.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
I don't fully agree with it. We could have had Van Dijk.
Because you like to wind people up on your channel every day. Say, will he pay it? Will he won't? I won't pay this. I'll pay that.
No, I think that sometimes you have to pay over market value to get a player if that player is a special player.
You just got to go and get a big dog every now and then.
Especially so we're talking 5 or 10 million.
We don't get Champions League, mate. We're back to where we were with Mancini when we overpaid everybody to get players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making now. That's what point. Yeah. The point I'm making is sometimes in life you have to overpay to get something quality. Yeah. And sometimes you have to do that. And by the way, we've had a couple of bargains. It's not like you've been overpaying for everyone. You got Haaland for 50 million quid, mate. So sometimes just to go and overpay it. Like Mario, for example. I think we probably overpaid for him. He was 75 million quid. He was a top player.
Lewis, we'll go back 13 years.
Alan, I can't accept that, mate. If we miss out on the Champions League for one season, that means that potentially we might sign one player that wouldn't be the top level. But if we're getting a Champions League the season after, then we're back to normal and normal business as usual. It's not like we're just all of a sudden out Champions League thriller. No, I can't sit there and not let that go unchallenged.
Well done, Poppy, you took the bait.
No, I can't. Even if it was bait, I'm in.
That was like being in the pub with you in Glossop and just throwing it out on this, mate.
Fuck you, Al. Let me finish these off, man. Big up to Wolves F1 says, Pep in trouble, losing any of the next 3 games and season could be considered. Well, it's a failure, according to Pep Guardiola, Haaland, and some other players. Pep said it again tonight. He said it's not good enough just winning the FA Cup. And
I think it is. I agree with him. I think it is a failure if we only win the FA Cup and scrape the Champions League. That's a look in terms of you know, at the end of the day, like flat look, get Champions League, get a trophy. That might look good to some people, but it's been a fucking horrific season. Like this season has been a failure, no matter what.
Requirements in it. It's the
If you look at
the bare minimum.
Yeah. If you look at what's happened this season, though, right, and because this season's just felt like it's gone on for years. If you look at this season just as a whole and go, right, okay, Rodri's won the Ballon d'Or, Haaland signed for 10 years, we've won an FA Cup, and we've qualified for Champions League. Like, that in most clubs would be deemed as a massive success.
Yeah, but Rodri getting a nice individual award doesn't count as the club having a mint season. Like not in the way that matters.
Hang on,
It's nice for the club's PR, but it's not. It's good. It's good for the club's PR, but it's not like it's not us. We're not all sharing in the success of that. Like Rodri is just going to go down.
We are sharing the success of it because we've got the best player.
We're not though, are we? Like I'm not going to go for a parade tomorrow for fucking Rodri to show his Ballon d'Or off to everyone. Like it's not the same thing, is it?
We've still got the best player in the world playing for our football club. So in somewhat, yeah, it is sharing success.
No, it's not the same.
No.
Modric
Modric won it in 2018. Madrid got bounced by Ajax in like the round of 16. They did not go trumpeting that Ballon d'Or around.
Yeah, it's not. It's good to win.
No, what I'm saying is that it's not been a successful season as a whole for us. But most clubs would definitely deem what we've done this season as a massive success.
For most clubs, you're right.
Arsenal have won nothing for the last God knows how many years, but finishing second's a massive success.
Yeah, but that's shit. That's the thing. We're not them.
Yeah, I see.
That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's been a success only if we win the 115.
It's a success to a
level. We win that. Nothing else matters.
I'm very fucking happy because watch the meltdown from the rest of the world. Because they will go ballistic.
That is quite important, to be fair. Yeah,
that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
Trevor, what you said, mate. You can't. If you looked at it instead of start season, then yeah, that was it. But we can't look past the way the season's gone. It's been shit. You know, if we'd have won the FA Cup and we'd have finished second and we'd had a good season, we just got beat by the better team, then that's okay. That's fair enough.
I agree. For us, what we've done over God knows how many years, it's not a success. But if you look at the likes of Arsenal, other teams, Newcastle, all the sort of surrounding teams around us. Like, if you were to turn around and say, "Oh, you've walked away with an FA Cup, signed your best player up to a 10-year deal, and you now have the best player in the world playing for your club," like that in most cases.
Some teams are one of our worst seasons in the last 10 years. Is probably the best season some of the clubs are ever going to have, but.
All of that is predicated upon us actually winning tomorrow. And again, I don't want to look past that. So we have to go out there and
guarantee.
If we lose tomorrow, it's objectively a failure, and no one can argue that.
Yeah, no matter what, it's a failure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a failure if we win tomorrow. Let's be honest. I think it's a failure of a season, no matter what, because of how shit it's been. Yeah. But I think
if we win tomorrow, it's a lot more subjective.
For us, it is, but for most clubs, it will be a success. Like,
but I'm only asked about us though. I'm not bothered what Crystal Palace would think of this season.
Yeah,
no, of course.
Right, I'm going back to bed. I'm having a couple more hours in bed. So
right,
it was great to see you, Alan. It was really
big up, Al, mate.
See ya.
Take it easy, Paul. Paul P.
Later.
Say hello to Glossop for me. Don't get too wound up. See you later.
See you later, mate. See you later. Let me finish these chats off, man. Big up Martin says, factually, we need 4 points. Villa and Chelsea only get 69. We have a far better goal difference. If Newcastle lose Sunday, they can only get 69. Yeah, we need a win and a draw, innit?
Yeah.
I fucking hope we win on Tuesday because I do not want to be going to that Fulham game needing to win the game. Fuck that.
Yeah.
This is basically turning out exactly the same as the Pellegrini season, isn't it? When did we go to Swansea last game of the season and need a point or something?
We went to Swansea and what was it? We drew.
We drew 2-2.
We made it in on goal difference because like United.
Yeah. And fucking Joe Hart in that game, by the way, kept us in it. He made some fucking unbelievable saves.
He can actually score, I think. And
I actually have tickets for me and the family to that Fulham match, and I thought it was gonna be last game of the season. Everybody's on the beach. It'll just be fun. Everybody's having a good time. And now it looks like we could be fighting for our lives here.
That's what you want, though. That's what you want. You want something jeopardy.
I mean, you want some jeopardy.
But to be honest, I'd rather us go into that with everything wrapped up, and I could just chill. I don't want to.
You don't get that, mate. Not as a City fan. You don't get
Messi.
You don't get that.
Get Messi on the fucking pitch, mate.
So speaking of that, I wanted to go back to something that Patrick had said on Twitter. He was like, Echeverri is as good or could be as good as Lamine Yamal. And as the dedicated Echeverri fan and advocate, LB, I need you to tell me, do you really see that? Do you think that's
Echeverri? So Echeverri, I've said this plenty of times, right? Echeverri will either be one of the best players in the world or he'll just be shit. He has Ballon d'Or potential, but because of the type of player he is, if he can't handle the physicality, he'll be dead in it. So I'm saying it's going one way or the other. I don't see a world in which he's just all right. I just think if he works, it's going to be unbelievable. And if he doesn't quite work, it's just not going to work. So I've said that plenty of times.
Lamine Yamal style or Willow Flood, one or the other.
Yeah, basically.
I just think Lamine Yamal is like special. It's hard to. I mean, you can be good and not be that dude.
Bro, have you seen the comps of this guy?
Well, who?
What a guy
Echeverri.
of Messi, mate.
No, I mean, I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen because I mean, again, you've talked about him enough, but
like I say, for me, bro, I think he's just one of those players that I think if he works, he's going to be unbelievable. But if he doesn't work like that, I just don't think he's going to make it. I don't see a world in which he's just all right, because how can he just be all right? He's either going to fucking work and he's going to be unbelievable, or he's just not going to be good enough at this level, which I've said at the time.
Let's say this then. Let me ask this question, because if we think that there is a world in which Echeverri could be 95%, 90% of what Lamine Yamal has demonstrated to this point, why do you get anybody in play in front of him? Why go for Wirtz?
Well, yeah, but that is a gigantic if.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that's what we're saying. We're saying that he has the ability to play at that level. If that's the case, put that man on the pitch and let him do his thing. Again,
has anybody other than this guy on Twitter actually made that claim though? Because that's like. I think Lamine Yamal is potentially already the best player in the world. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's a big statement to make. He can be good. Echeverri can be good, but to say that he's going to be that level, that's a big statement. And if people really feel that, then we shouldn't put anybody in front of him.
I made an outrageous comment.
Pep obviously doesn't think that.
I made an outrageous comment last night on X, but I still stand by it. I think Lamine Yamal finishes his career with more Ballon d'Ors than Messi. I genuinely believe that, and I will die on that.
I think Messi got
8. He had to stay healthy though.
Yeah, providing that he stays healthy. If he continues on this trajectory, like there is no world in which he doesn't beat Messi.
Considering who his competition is right now.
Yeah, that's because there's no Ronaldo. That's the thing.
Because it's like it's him, Salah, Rafinha, Dembele. You're not talking about like Mbappe's not in that bracket anymore. It's weird.
How many did Messi win? 6?
8.
8, right?
Yeah.
8. Fucking hell, that is
8. I think Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine Yamal wins this one this year. So he's only got 7 more to equal it, and he's like what 70. The guy's got like technically about another 20 years in football as of now.
If Spain win the Nations League, I think he's got it locked down. But then again, if France or if PSG
Dembele.
win Champions League and France win Nations League, Dembele would very well win.
True.
Because he could win a treble, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dembele
He's
could
definitely
have
the
a
best
treble.
player in the world. Like, regardless of what the Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
says, he's definitely the
But
best player in the world.
To bring it back to the Echeverri conversation, like I think it obviously just demonstrates that Pep obviously does not rate him that highly. Like if we're looking at no matter, and it's the same when we do a lot of this with a lot of players where we bring in these like young kids from anywhere. Like we all think, oh well, they're just going to be given a pathway to the first team, and then we splash 100 mil on Florian Wirtz, and then it doesn't matter. So like they're never going to get any game time anyway. Like if we thought that Echeverri was the answer to anything, our transfer activity would look a lot different, wouldn't it? Like we wouldn't be maybe you could say Wirtz is an exception to the rule because he's so good that he's a player who you have to try and get like no matter what if you're letting De Bruyne walk out the door. But if we thought we already had that guy or someone who could be that guy in Echeverri, like Pep wouldn't be looking at that and going like, buy Florian Wirtz for me.
I guess he's just not ready, mate. I guess he's just genuinely not ready. And it might take time, you know.
But that's why I've said
we haven't got time. We haven't got
I've been
time.
asking for him just to get off the bench for 10 minutes just to see where he's at. I've not been asking him to be captain in the side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's mad we haven't seen any minutes of him at all. Like, especially since he's joined, we've had like FA Cup rounds where he could have played and stuff like that. Like, it's not.
I just think he's not ready, mate. I think he's probably more beneficial to him by just actually learning slowly and just acclimatizing.
Well,
that might have been a
The
problem.
Club World Cup is
Leave
going to
him at
be
River Plate,
where we'll see him, and we'll know. Well, hopefully, we'll see him playing with a lot of the first team players, and we can see what he actually
How's
does.
Mastantuano ready then for River Plate? How come Carrizio's ready? How come Soler's ready for Bournemouth? How come all these players that played in the same tournament back in January are all playing professional?
Because they're getting first
by all
team
means.
minutes.
Because they don't play for us, mate. Simple as that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, again, if it hadn't been for Xavi, then would you even have a Lamine Yamal? Somebody had to give that player his first opportunity, his first chance, and to see that, you know what, we're gonna have some ups and downs because he's young, but we're gonna ride it, and that's
if
okay.
Yamal was
If
Yamal was at Madrid under Carlo Ancelotti, you wouldn't be getting any minutes at all because Ancelotti just doesn't do that. Like it comes down to just like managers taking a risk on players and stuff like that. So I think
the circumstances, he had no other chance, but no choice but to play him young because he was fucking good enough, and there was no one else to play there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let me do these super chats and we'll wrap it up. Shout out to Ranveer, says LB Wirtz should think about the team he will be playing in. They'll need transition. If I'm Wirtz watching Haaland up front for 10 years with Rodri beside him, far better defense than Bayern. Love from India. Facts, I agree. Bro, you got Rodri behind you and Haaland in front of you. Fucking come on, mate. It's not rocket science, bro.
I agree with that because it's not just about one season.
Yeah. Shout out Tony as well. Says Salah says in an interview there's room for KDB at Liverpool. So
there's room for LFC. There's room for KDB to be at KFC as well. Fuck it, he's not going there.
Focus on the hairline, bro. Focus on the hairline.
I hope he doesn't go there.
Proceeding.
He did just say it as a joke at the end of an interview. To be fair, it was just like a bit of a laugh while he was saying how. I think he was just saying how mint Kevin De Bruyne has been.
Yeah, no, he's going Napoli, isn't it? He's going Napoli, bro.
Yeah.
Thank God. Couldn't fucking stand him in a Liverpool kit. And shout out to Kevin as well for the super chat. Well, no message, but I appreciate the donation. All right, and boys, anything else from you, lads, before we wrap it up?
I want your opinions on this then. I've shown it LB, but I don't know how many of you guys have seen this, but that thing.
Oh, let me zoom in.
Oh.
It's a DH Gate special.
I was going to say, where'd you get that?
Fell off the back of a wagon coming from China.
No,
we think that's what it's going to look like, genuinely.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's a genuine Puma top. That is genuinely going to be it. It's genuinely Puma with dry cell and shit. It is.
You know this.
So the badge is sewn on, but that's what the third kit is going to be.
It looks like a belt.
Oh, so that means the second kit's going to be that white one.
The Club World Cup one.
Horrible.
This Club World
What
Cup
about the black one?
The
Are we talking about Club World Cup or
that's the Club World Cup?
Just the Club World Cup. This one.
The black one's been taken off. Apparently, the away kit's going to be like a white version of that.
I've got it somewhere. I don't think it's there.
No, the black one is actually for next season. Like these kits that Pulpy's got here are just for the Club World Cup.
So we've got special kits for the Club World Cup,
yeah.
Are they going to be selling these special kits to fans?
Yeah, they're not going to sell very many. Let me tell you that.
I like it. I think
I'm not a big fan of that.
Bought one.
Belgium.
The orange one's all right, but that white one's horrible.
Belgium.
I thought I read that they were going to play in the blue. We're going to be able to play in our blue.
I think yes, but I think our normal home, our next season's home kit is going to still be used in the Club World Cup as well. But our away kit and third kit are going to be these like bullshit new. I think there's too many football kits as it is. We don't need more kits. It's fucking ridiculous. And
it costs me $12.90 off DHgate anyway. So
yeah, anyone who pays full price for these things is a fucking idiot, as far as I'm concerned. It's just mad.
DHgate, you say? Okay.
Yeah.
Other retails are available.
It'll probably never get to me. It'll probably never get to me.
Look out for your local truck driving around the roundabout in America.
Just going direct to source, man. That's all.
It's never going to get here. Tariffs is never making it.
Yeah, you got the tariffs, man. You might as well buy it.
It's never going to get
here. Yeah, that is true.
Might as well buy it from the legit city website.
Sorry, if you wanted one, mate, I'd order one to my house and then post it to you.
I just come get it from you, yeah.
Yeah, just post it to take home.
Oh, nice guy.
Yeah.
Pep quotes, people saying Pep quotes. What's he saying? He says all the players have travelled down, so just because John Stones is there doesn't mean he's fit. He said Kevin De Bruyne, he says he's not sure if he's going to play him yet. He doesn't know what decision is made. Let's have a look. What else is he saying?
He's played up Bournemouth, and he's saying that it's that they've got Europa League to play for.
Yeah, he's gassing up the Bournemouth game.
Just making sure there's jeopardy on the line and the players know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope he's not overlooking tomorrow, let me tell you that. But...
Have you seen this? I'll be something this, Albie. This is something just to laugh at the end, mate. This is some mad stats for Amorim.
Oh, yeah, he's got like a less than 1 point per game.
Oh,
that's
fucking horrific.
Have you seen this?
That's what I sent you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've sent you a TalkSport one. It looked better, the TalkSport version.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
It's
in this chat.
That's insane.
Do we think he gets let go, or do they keep him?
I think they've got through this whole season with him. They have to give him a summer and a year. At this point. I think it's so. I'm so torn on it because I just think logically it makes total sense. Just fuck him off because he's obviously not good enough. But
they want to stay right there.
But all the United fans seem to just written off this year and just gone, oh well, it's none of it's Amorim's fault. It's all like a Ten Hag squad that he's inherited.
I'm not ready to accept that when it goes to shit next year, then it's Amorim's team, and who they're going to blame then? They're still blaming Ten Hag, won't they? Or Jim the bastard.
It's just like I don't get me wrong. This United team is shit, but a good manager would be able to find a way for that team to get some.
You wouldn't get them higher than mid-table. I'm sorry,
but he'd get them mid-table. Like, and he wouldn't have them fucking 16th. It's insane.
There were 4 points. Apparently, there were 4 points off top 5 when they sacked
Ten Hag. Yeah.
And now they're 2 points above they're like 2 places above the relegation zone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
From a City fan point of view, we need him to stay for as long as he can, because the longer he stays, the more damage you're going to do to their club fundamentally, because they'll be doing what we do, where they're saying, get Pep in, teach the young kids, it'll rinse the squad and make it 3-4-3. And then when somebody comes in as a more trusted manager and they haven't got players that are capable of playing 4 at the back, that means they've got another 2 or 3 seasons of rebuilds and getting rid of deadwood and donkeys out and players in and changing the strategies. So the longer he stays in there, the more damage he's going to do to their club long term.
I think you called it
relegation on the table, man.
I think the issue was getting a manager that plays that style. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think bringing in a manager who drastically changed the playing style, I think that's the bigger issue. Yeah.
Yeah, because if Pep leaves tomorrow, City will find somebody who will just be able to play the same.
But he was linked with us.
Yeah. And I don't think that was ever true. There's no way City were going to bring.
Was it just lazy because we had brought in Viana and it was lazy?
Exactly.
Don't know.
The same source that says that Wirtz is going to go to Real Madrid because Xabi Alonso's gone there. Like,
yeah, that's not happening.
It's no way City were going to bring somebody in and change the whole fundamental way the club is.
Well, because Liverpool will link them as well, weren't they? Because apparently Amorim turned down Liverpool and West Ham. But I think it's come out since that the reason why he didn't go to Liverpool Liverpool were like, well, we don't have a squad that suits playing a back three and like wing back, so why would we get you in? Like, obviously, it seems pretty apparent that Amorim is not willing to go beyond a back five and play with wing backs in the back three.
I don't think he can change.
So I think if you're a club like us or like Liverpool or any of these other top clubs that I mean, obviously United don't give a fuck because they were just so desperate to get rid of Ten Hag and they'll do whatever. But I think for us and Liverpool, who have like a legitimate sort of succession plan for our managers and style, we don't want that. We're not about putting five defenders on a pitch.
Oh, about Liverpool again, sleepless nights over not signing Amorim.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's just like basically if we got rid of what we do now and getting Jose Mourinho in just because he's pragmatic and you'd absolutely just destroy the club. We might get one trophy in a year, but you just destroy everything you've ever worked for.
That's why when Pep leaves, we'll get a manager who plays fundamentally something similar to Pep. We don't have to be exactly the same. But it'll be the fundamentals, tiki-taka, keep the ball.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. It'll be Nagelsmann.
You're going to change a few bricks, not knock the entire house down.
Yeah.
That's another point because Nagelsmann he's still the Germany manager, right?
Yeah.
So if he actually is potentially a Pep replacement down the road, Wirtz coming here is actually a good thing for him.
Yeah. Although I'm fully back on
lot of dots, no doubt, but
bro, I'm fully back on the Luis Enrique hype train, man. I can't lie.
Oh, mate, Luis Enrique's
I would absolutely be fine with that too. Yeah. Sign me up for that.
Yeah,
you're not on the company hype train now, LB.
No, it's still on the list, but I think in terms of like using my brain and who's the actual just best manager, fucking Luis
Enrique is the best man for the job.
He is, but do you think he would want to follow Pep again?
Awesome. So,
do you think Enrique would probably want to follow Pep's shoes again?
Why not? If he wants the Prem, he wants a Prem move.
Yeah, but
Who's better suited for Luis Enrique to managing the Prem than us?
Bro, you know he's about to do a second treble if he wins the Champions League final.
Yeah.
How many managers have done 2 trebles? That's a question for you.
I'll say
Pep has actually done 2 trebles, isn't it? Yeah, he's done one.
Yeah, he's really there, though. Absolutely bottomed him straight away.
There you go. He can come and do it. He can come and do another one.
Yeah.
Right. We'll leave it there, boys. Shark Hujinda, man. I reckon we will get Champions League. I reckon we'll win one, draw one. I literally think we'll do what needs to be done. We're 10 games unbeaten. I don't think we'll lose either of the 2 games, hopefully. But I don't think we'll beat them either. I don't think we'll win 2. I think we'll win 1, draw 1. I'm hoping that we beat fucking Bournemouth so we can just go to Fulham and shit out on the last game of the season.
Yeah.
But we'll see, innit?
What score are we saying for tomorrow then?
I'm saying... I'm not confident, me.
3-1. 3-1 City.
See, I was going to say 3-1.
I'm saying 3-2 City.
I'm going to say 3-1 and we concede first.
We defo concede the first goal tomorrow.
Because
I just feel like with Crystal Palace, like you said before, like they've never won a trophy. Yeah. Do you think they're going to go to Wembley and it's going to be too much for them? Because it'll go either way. They'll either go there and play their absolute socks off and try and get the first trophy ever for the club, or they'll just end up falling apart.
I think they're going to be mint. I think they're going to be mint, and we're going to have to be even better to win.
No, they'll be up for it. But
Oliver Glasgow
going to play us,
so it's experience. He won the Europa League in 22, and then the following season made it to the Pokal final. He's got experience.
They've got a lot of players, by the way, who are like putting themselves in the shop window like Mark Guehi, Adam Wharton, Eze. Like these are players that could get big moves this summer, and everyone's going to be watching this. This is a huge opportunity for those players,
Adam Wharton,
I thought he'd take the piss tomorrow, and then all of a sudden he's all over the transfers for City again.
Well, I've said plenty of times I've never seen Adam Wharton play good. And tomorrow,
watching tomorrow, you'll absolutely take the piss.
Jesus, why did you say that?
I've said it all week. It's too late.
That hurts.
I've never seen him have a good game. I've never seen this guy have a good game. I know for a fact tomorrow he's dropping man of the match performance.
I was going to say, if he scores tomorrow, I'm hitting you on the little WhatsApp thingy.
Bro, we're going to get cooked.
He's going to smash one in off the bar like Nemanja Matic in 2017.
Yeah. I think we'll win 4-0 tomorrow and Haaland gets hat-trick.
Wow.
Happy Clapper is back.
That's big.
Shout out Paul P with a happy clapper. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-2. You're going 4-0. Daddy, what are you saying?
3-1. We concede the first goal. Because I know it's going to happen. Everyone's going to melt down because Glasner said he's going to pull one over on us next time he plays us, and he's going to score first. We're like, oh my god, he was right. We're fucked, and we're going to score 3.
No, I think where the meltdown will come is because he said that, and Pep is just going to do some fucking mad shit in the starting 11. He's not playing our normal 4-3-3. He's going to play some mad. He's going to put fucking some silly plays in silly positions because he's going to be like, oh well, Glasner said that I can't do what I did last time because he'll work it out, so I have to not do what I did last time. And
Kushner right back, Nicholas left back, fucking two false nines, Jack Grealish, Gundogan, Devin De Bruyne.
Hey, Jack Grealish on the pitch, I'm happy. That's all that matters.
Yeah. He'll Pep will do some madness like play a 1-8-1 or something.
5 at the back. It's got straight random with 5 at the back one day, first time ever.
Yeah,
5 centre backs.
Right.
I think it's 2-1. I think it's 2-1 us. I'll be biting my nails the whole match.
Yeah, right. I gotta go to bed, boys. I'm up in the morning.
We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we have 2 hours, man. These did go a while. I do another fucking hour, me, but obviously, I'm actually going to the match tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need sleeping on, mate. I'm fucking up too early.
So yeah, no watch along tomorrow, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, I will. I'm going in it. So I'll see if you follow me on Twitter and that or Instagram. I'll try and get some like short little clips up or like pictures or whatever so you guys can see in it. But yeah, I'm not no watch along tomorrow, unfortunately. But yeah, smash these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. And yeah, from us and the panel, everyone here, smash the like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, people.